Bond. Jimmy Bond.
Jimmy?
That's the name. Spying's the game. I've got my poker chip and my new Q branch US made gun. That's how we do it in MI6. But now they're calling it MI7 because it just got one better. Hey everybody, it's the Stagler. I don't know if I'll be doing that voice the whole time, but I can try. No.
I can't.
Okay. It is.
I was trying to be like Judi Dench.
Bond.
But I can't do it. I can't.
Can't.
I can't do it.
It's episode 39 of the Stagler. It is our big Daniel Craig, James Bond-a-thon. Right? I mean, that just works for Bond-a-thon. That's perfect.
Bond-a-thon. Sure.
He was in 5 Bond movies, and that is the
Cinco.
topic of our spotlight. I'm not Jimmy Bond. I'm actually 10. Just 10. And that's Ick.
I'm Nick.
There you go.
There we go.
You could say Olis. You know.
Olis. Nicholas.
Yeah, there you go. Works. That's a little bit later on in our spotlight, which I'm pretty excited for. We both got to rewatch every single movie from Casino Royale to No Time to Die, which just came out. In the past 3 weeks, we've watched them, so we really got them bam, 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 bam in a row because it is one big story, you know.
Can you believe it?
So we can talk about that a little bit later. But first, we've got some big old weeks to get through. So let's get that out of the way first. What do you say?
That sounds good to me.
Sounds good to you. Let's go. Let's go.
Oh, I thought you were going to go first.
No, it's all right.
Okay. So, obviously, I said last week or the past two episodes or whatever, I've been hitting up the Jason Statham verse.
Yeah.
So, still been hitting that hard. So, and it's been 3 weeks since our last episode. So, we got 3 Statham movies here.
Nice.
I'm going to start off with Safe, directed by Boaz Yakin. This movie is Jason Statham plays Jason Statham, where he kind of hates his life and he wants to die.
Oh.
But then he sees this little girl and he's like, she's all alone. What is wrong? Turns out she's being chased by like the mob because she's like really smart and she can like run the numbers for them.
Whoa.
So he's like, OMG, I have to help this girl. So then the movie is him like helping this girl and killing all these mob people and stuff. It was a pretty cool movie. I won't lie. I liked it.
Cool.
One of the better Statham films.
Oh, so you're saying Statham right now kind of has a wonky track record, you think?
Well, no, I love all of his films. Because Jason Statham is very special, obviously because he's in Fast and Furious, one of my favorite franchises.
Sure.
But also, I think it's funny, he always plays the same character in every movie he's in, which is just he plays Jason Statham. And I very much appreciate that.
Jason Statham, he's British.
He is British, mate.
Is he Bond material?
No.
I didn't think
He's
so.
too brutal.
No way. He's not debonair.
Jason Statham would destructo beam Bond.
Maybe we'll talk a little bit about who the next Bond could be.
We could do
Yeah,
that.
we could do that a little bit
We
later.
could. Watch another one. This one was interesting. This is like way early Jason Statham career. This was before he started playing Jason Statham. He actually plays a character in this movie.
Whoa.
I know. This movie is Ghosts of Mars. Have you heard of this?
No, but it sounds rad.
It's directed by John Carpenter, who I'm sure you know.
Okay.
Very famous.
Yep.
So this movie is basically the future. I think it's like 2025.
That's not really the future, but
Right. But so we've colonized Mars. Can you believe it?
Of course. I mean,
So, in only a couple years, we're going to have Mars colonized, and they're 85% done terraforming the planet.
we're pretty on track for that.
So I think we're looking pretty good for that.
Oh my God.
Anyway, so Jason Statham is like this, like, not like a police guy on the, well, I guess kind of like police guy on the planet Mars. He's like in a squad, and he's like cool. He's a cool guy.
Okay.
And he gets put in this crew, and he's not even the main character in this movie. He's like the main side character.
Yeah, so it's early. Gotcha.
So he and the squad, they have to go like investigate this like place on Mars where like something happened. Turns out there's like this weird alien like mist thing that like possesses people
Okay.
And if you get like possessed, you like go crazy and you turn into like a caveman person, but like brutal, and you like want to kill anybody.
Sure.
So
Rage virus.
right. And it's really cool because obviously John Carpenter, known for a lot of horror things, he does a lot of cool like body horror stuff. So like the makeup in this movie is really cool actually. So there's parts where people, because when they get like they get like possessed or whatever, they go crazy and they start like scratching like their skin off and like using like weird piercings. So there's a lot of like really gross scenes where people are like literally like peeling their skin off or like poking needles like through their face and stuff. It's really cool. But the thing about this movie that really got me was anytime an action sequence is about to start, this super duper heavy metal just comes in, kind of like Doom. It's like when the Doom music kicks in.
Is it actually like is it gent?
No.
The type of music that.
Oh yes.
Okay.
I've never heard of that.
Gent, I think it's when it's like strummed, but it's held down, so it's like very short, kind of. You know, the chords don't ring out. They're just
yeah,
like that.
it's like that.
I believe that's called gent.
And it's pretty cool. And then they have these like crazy action sequences. The other thing that's cool about this movie is Ice Cube is in it.
Hey.
So he shows up and he's like, "What's up, motherfucker?" Mm-hmm. And he does his normal Ice Cube thing, like in Are We There Yet, but on Mars.
You just sold me on this film. Are We There Yet, but on Mars?
It's good. It's good. And then there's just a bunch of really cool action sequences where they kill all these like demon possessed people. And that's pretty much the whole movie with like some epic metal soundtrack going on. And it makes no sense, but it's just fun.
Fun to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So I would recommend this movie. The third Statham-verse film I watched was called Parker, directed by Taylor Hackford. Now this film is very interesting. Jason Statham. The interesting thing about this one is he has no like backstory in this one. We don't know. Usually in a lot of his movies you find out like what he used to do and why he's such a badass. In this one, there's just nothing.
Okay.
So turns out he's like in a crew and they're gonna do a hit on the Ohio State Fair. I know. Crazy. I was like, I didn't know fairs really had that much money.
How dare they?
So they do it. But turns out he gets betrayed by his boys and they kill him and leave him for dead. But he doesn't die because he's Jason Statham, and obviously now he wants revenge. So the rest of the movie is him getting revenge. He ends up teaming up with Jennifer Lopez to help get revenge on these dudes. And the movie, there's a part where he's trying to, well, he doesn't try to recruit J-Lo. She kind of recruits herself for him, but he goes in disguise as like a Southern cowboy man. And he does this Southern accent, which might be the worst thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Just try to imagine Jason Statham trying to do a Southern accent.
Wait, it's even worse than our Southern accents?
It's really bad.
Wow.
It's really bad.
That's a pretty low bar, I have
hilarious.
to say.
So
I have a question, actually.
What's up?
Now that you say that. Speaking of accents, in most of these movies, is he doing his normal accent or is he doing an American one?
No, he's British.
He's British.
He's always British.
Always British. Okay.
So yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
The thing though is this movie's kind of boring. I won't lie, and it's kind of not great. But this of all, I've probably seen like 10 Statham-verse films at this point, and there's still many more to go. This one has the best Jason Statham kill in any of the ones so far, and it's going to be hard to top. Let me explain to you what's happening. He's in a fight with a dude. He's in a fight with the dude that plays The Thing in The Thing. Is that it? In Fantastic Four, is that his name?
Yeah,
The Thing. Remember him?
Yeah.
The original Fantastic Four? Him. And he's fighting him, and they're like, he like has a gun.
Yeah.
And he's like holding it. The dude's like trying to like turn it towards him. He's like, oh, and you're like, oh my gosh. And he clicks and drops the magazine out, and then takes the magazine and stabs it through the guy's throat.
Oh, I think I've seen that, actually, that specific scene, because that rings a bell to me.
It's awesome. And then he like throws him to the ground and like breaks his neck, and then he pulls the magazine out and puts it back in the gun to go kill some more people.
Yeah.
Awesome stuff. I would recommend that particular part.
Sure.
Few more things. Unfortunately, I watched Cars 2. I will not speak on this very long.
Okay.
Cars 2 is an atrocious film.
Oh.
Quite literally one of the worst films I've ever seen in my entire life. It is so awful.
People always say about how bad it is.
Have you seen Cars 2?
I want to say I have.
Okay. I know you've seen the original Cars. You remember Mater. Toe Mater. Of
course, Toe
Obviously.
Mater.
Everyone loves Toe Mater.
Yeah.
So the people
That's how Jason Statham says it. Here we
Right.
say tomato, but
Okay. the people at Disney Pixar were like, wow, people really like Mater. You know what we should do? We should make the next movie all about Mater.
Yeah.
So
And that's
Mater
not a spin-off, it's just...
is the main character in this movie.
Wow.
And the backdrop is Lightning McQueen is going around the world to do this like worldwide Grand Prix race.
That's
thing.
what I remember.
And I was like, that's cool. But Mater gets roped into like this James Bond espionage stuff, which I was like, that's funny because we're doing James Bond this week.
Yeah.
But it's so terrible, and cars are tortured in this movie. They're killed.
Nice.
They're exploded. One car is crushed with a compactor. I was like, this is a kid's movie, number one. Cars are being murdered.
Yeah.
And it's just so terribly uninteresting and boring. And it's just the dumbest movie I've ever seen in my life. And then, obviously, they came out with Cars 3, which I also watched. Cars 3 is a little bit of a return to form. They finally focused back on the racing. And Cars 3 is pretty good. Yeah. It's not better than the original Cars, but it's way better than Cars 2. It's like they wiped Cars 2 off the map. They don't even mention Cars 2 once in Cars 3. They're not like, hey, remember when we were like James Bond for a little bit?
And all those people died?
Yeah, and there was like 30 people that died. Yeah, that didn't happen. So then Cars 3 is like Lightning McQueen. There's new cars on the track, and they're better. They're faster. So he's like, damn it, how can I be faster? So he goes and he tries to be faster, but he meets a girl car. And turns out that she's faster.
Oh, my gosh.
So he's like, you know what? My time is here. And he comes to terms with it. And he's like, you know what? It's my time to be coach now. And he coaches girl, and she becomes good racer. Very sweet movie.
That is sweet.
I have one more before we combine.
Sure.
I watched a movie that I've always wanted to see ever since like the original trailer came out. Valerian in the City of a Thousand Planets.
I remember that one.
Did you see this?
No, I just remember it, and people were like, oh.
So the thing about this movie is it's all frosting, no cake.
Okay. Interesting.
It's wonderful to look at. There's awesome action sequences. It's super fun.
But the world isn't there?
But there's just like nothing.
Gotcha.
There's just nothing to like grab. The characters are like very uninteresting. The performances are all right, but the main dude, I can't remember his name. He's like just so like bland. Has no emotion really. I don't know if that's like a director thing or him thing, but he's the guy that plays the Green Goblin in the original Spider-Man.
Willem Dafoe?
No,
What?
sorry, not Green Goblin. What am I thinking?
The fuck?
He's in like the original Spider-Man movies. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
So that's like the thing, but it's so like awesome to like look at and like the world and like all the different. So like the City of a Thousand Planets is like literally a city where like 1,000 different races, like alien races, and all like combined together, and it's really cool and it looks awesome. And I would love to spend like we don't spend a lot of time there. I would love to spend like more time in that area. I think this movie would work a lot better as like a series.
Yeah.
So we could like focus more on like other things, but it just feels like really rushed, and you don't really get to spend a lot of time like with the cool things. But yeah, and I guess this movie like really flopped, and so we probably won't be getting any more Valerian stuff. But it's really cool.
Probably not. Yeah, I wouldn't expect any more from that.
So yeah, that was my week before we combine up.
Okay, what's combining? Let's hear.
You want to do end of Eva?
Sure, guys. We said our whole last episode we had a big thing. We're just like, wow, Evangelion sucks, and people were like, no, listen, it's the end of Eva, so you gotta watch it, whatever. How much has your opinion changed on Eva?
It's honestly gone down.
Really, it's gone down?
Yes.
See, I'm not there. I don't think it went down, but I do think End of Eva is a better ending than the original series.
Yes.
Is it a good ending?
No.
Maybe not, but it is a better ending.
Yeah.
I had to watch this movie twice, or I had to attempt twice, because the first time I shut it off within 4 minutes, including the minute 30 of opening like credits.
Yeah. You know what we're talking about.
If you've seen it, you know what we're talking about.
The very first thing that happens in the movie is very troubling.
I was just not in the mood for that. I was like, okay, I don't need this. I can come back to this later. And I came back to it last night because I was like, I should watch it for the show. So End of Eva. What do you...
I think the first half of it was kind of interesting when, like, I'm trying to remember, they're, like, being attacked by, what's it called?
Seal.
Yeah, and they're like, we need to go fight them. And Asuka's like, okay, I'll fight all of them. And she had, like, a cool scene where she kills, like, a bunch of things. And I was like, that's cool. and then like Misato is like dies. She gets like shot.
She kills those 3 guys, and then she makes out with the child, and she
right,
dies.
and she like kisses him.
Yeah, and then she's like, "Oh, fuck you if you live."
Yeah, and I thought that was kind of weird.
Well, yeah, but
and then Shinji's like, okay.
mm-hmm.
And then the other girl dies. What's her name?
Rei or Ritsuko.
Ritsuko.
Yeah,
she gets killed. That was sad. I liked her.
Okay, sure.
And then Rei like turns into like a I don't even know,
because she bonds with Lilith, and yeah,
and then she becomes like she becomes like the third.
Well, because
Impact.
Seal attacks with the Ava series that they completed, and that's what Asuka's killing, but she doesn't actually kill any of them. They're all actually fine.
Right.
And then Rei combines with Lilith, and it turns into the third impact. The human instrumentality thing is happening, and the end of the movie is just like the end of the series, where the human instrumentality thing's happening, and that's the last 30 minutes or whatever.
Yeah, where it's just like weird stuff is happening.
Except it's weird because the end of the series is like he finds his authority, he finds his autonomy, I guess is the word, in it, and everyone's like, "Oh, good job, you found that you have self-worth. Good, congratulations." They all clap.
Right.
And this one, he like kind of does the same exact thing, except this time he just sits alone with Asuka on the beach and then like strangles her.
Yeah.
But it's like the same ending. Like the ending's really the same. It's just like from a different like perspective almost. At least to me, unless I totally misconstrued it, which honestly maybe, because who knows.
Yeah.
But that's what I got from it. It's like technically the same ending. It's just one is the inside and the other one you got like the outside.
Oh. That's nice.
That's
nice
kind of how I thought
about
about it. I don't know what that means for the next 3 movies or whatever.
I will not be participating in watching the next 3 films.
But they just, because literally it still was split up into 2 episodes, the actual movie.
Yeah.
It was like 25, 26. So it was just like good episodes of the series. It didn't feel necessarily like movie-y.
Mm-hmm.
Which is like, this would be like if the series had a good episode. It'd be like this,
Right.
At least with where there was an actual action sequence instead of like the one that you got in the whole original run. Which I get. It's a character-driven show. I get that it's not about that, but not enough character stuff going on for me, in my opinion, for the 24 episodes.
26.
Well, 26, right. But yeah, it did not sway me to watch more.
Not loud.
It did calm me down just a little bit. I know you apparently got worse, but it calmed me down just a tad.
So now it's your favorite.
That was my favorite anime ever. I bought a poster of Asuka. It's hanging in my room.
Nice.
It's her in the hospital bed, and it's
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Shinji would agree.
Okay, I'm done with that.
Yeah, I'm good.
Where you want to do Venom?
Venom, forget him.
Venom.
Set him, forget him.
Venom
2, Let There Be Carnage. Wow, it feels like forever since we've seen this.
I know, but it's only been like 1 week.
Yeah. Venom, Let There Be Carnage. What do you think? Good, bad, somewhere in between?
Good movie.
I thought it was good.
It's a good movie.
I liked it a little bit more than the first.
It is better than the first movie. I would say that's fact.
I mean, at least with the final confrontation of the first movie is just so bad.
It's very
that
not
this
good.
one just has to be a little bit higher than it for that sole reason,
I agree.
So this one, you got Eddie Brock, you got Venom, you got Cletus Cassidy, and you've got Francesca.
She screams a lot.
Shriek, I think was her name.
There you go.
Shriek, she a screamer lady. Cletus Cassidy is Carnage. He bites Eddie because he's like doing an interview with him because remember he's a reporter.
Right.
And he gets the Venom symbiote in him, and he gets the Carnage blood, and he escapes from his lethal injection. And so he gets out, and he's just like, I want to be reunited with my long-lost love. Shriek.
She has a name.
They meet up, and they're going to get married, but Cletus wants to kill Eddie. Shriek wants to kill the cop that shot her in the face, and Carnage wants to kill Venom. So they all want to kill all those people.
Right.
So basically they gotta go fight him. But Venom and Eddie kind of have a fight. They have their first fight.
Yeah,
They
they
break
have some
up.
relationship troubles in this movie.
They break up. Eddie takes a night to find, or Venom takes a night to find himself at a rave.
A great scene. Just a great scene.
I wish it was longer. I wish there were more scenes like that.
It's awesome.
And
Venom,
it was just
he's just covered in like the glow stick things, walking around this rave, and all these people are like, "Whoa, sick costume, man!" And he's like, "Thanks."
yeah, exactly.
And then he like gets up on the stage, and then he has like a long monologue, and everyone's like, "Wow, it's really amazing." And then he does a mic drop.
The only bad part is they had to, because this movie was PG-13, they had to cut the song that they made for the movie, the Venom that one. They had to cut it to remove all the bad words.
Right.
So,
It's a good song. Look it up.
It's a great song. And also another thing about it being PG-13, the Carnage escape scene from prison, while being cool, would have been much cooler if he was like cutting people in half. And I don't think you can really fight that, rather than like throwing them. You know?
Yeah.
If he was just like cutting people's heads, he does like bite people's heads off screen.
Yeah.
Does that really count? Sort of.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
I think they could have pushed it a little more than they did. I think because if you remember X-Men Apocalypse, which in my opinion is the farthest that you can push PG-13. There's a part in X-Men Apocalypse where Wolverine comes out and kills like 50 guys, and there's like blood splattering on the wall and like all sorts of stuff. But I feel like they could have at least done a little bit of that. But
right, it seems like they didn't try too hard for the
Yeah.
pushing it. They're just like, yeah, just be safe, so we don't have to fix anything.
but they do say fuck one time, and it's very, very effective.
It does. Yeah, it is very effective. Let's not spoil where they use it. But yeah, it's good. There's a certain kind of thing where I kind of wish they would have leaned into the black, like dark comedy of it all.
Yeah.
Because there was a scene that I thought was really funny, but looking back, I was like, it probably wasn't funny. Is when Cletus has just escaped from like prison. He like stole a car and he needs to hack the internet. So he walks into a gas station and the guy's like, "Hello, how may I help you today?" And he just jumps up on the counter and kicks him in the face. And I don't know why. I just thought that was hilarious. And then he like curb stomps on him like 4 times. I was like, that's a little less funny.
Yeah.
But if they could have leaned into like funny but dark moments like that, I think it would have helped the film a lot. But what can you say?
That would be cool.
I know I said that I didn't want to spoil that one part, but like obviously something happens in this movie that's a pretty big deal for people.
Yes.
At the end of the movie, should we talk about it? Should we say what it is?
Yes, we should talk about it. Big spoilers.
Okay, this is something, guys.
Big spoilers.
I don't know if I've ever said it on the show, but I've been saying this was going to happen since like January. So
This is true. You are world renowned for your ability to predict the future of cinema.
right. So this is something I talked about in January. At the end of this movie, Venom and Eddie have to run away because they're going to get hunted and tested on, right? So they got to run away. He's in like just some resort, and then Venom's like, "Let me show you just a tiny fraction of all the information the symbiotes have gathered over 80 billion years." And then there's like a weird flash of lights, and Venom's like, "Wait, I'm not doing this. What's going on?" And Eddie's like, "Whoa, that was weird." He turns on the TV, and it's a special report coming on the TV. What is it?
It's J. Jonah Jameson.
What is he revealing?
Peter Parker is Spider-Man.
What? But I thought the Venom. What?
I know.
That's right. Venom is in the MCU.
So now we understand why the movies are not rated R.
Yeah, so he can come over and still be good. Here's the thing: is this Venom so he can be in No Way Home, and then they're gonna send him back to his universe and have a Venom 3 that's like?
Hope not.
You want him to stay in the MCU?
I want him to be in Avengers Endgame.
2.
2.
That'd be good. No, the thing is, it's like it would feel like a waste if it was just No Way Home, right? And then he just went back.
so.
You'd be like, oh, what's kind of the point? Because they teased the X-Men back in WandaVision, and that was a fake out. So this is the actual, for real, first, other than, Doc Ock and everything in the trailers.
Like the Fox and Sony stuff combining.
Is the actual first, like, oh yeah, Venom's coming over, and he's actually there. To happen in the movie, because obviously No Way Home is still just trailers. This is the first movie that actually had it.
Right.
So, yeah.
It is very interesting, and it was fun because everyone in our theater started yelling and screaming, and it's been a very long time since I've got to experience something like that, and it was kind of fun.
I remember hearing a few, what?
Yeah, I remember there was this one guy who was like, no way!
Yeah, it was nice being like, oh, that's
I was
cute
like,
little
people are
audience.
getting excited. That's fun.
I'm happy for them. Are they gonna let Venom be Venom in the MCU? Sure, hope so.
It would be funny if he just killed one of the main superheroes.
Just-
Like they're just in a scene and he's like, "I'm gonna eat this guy,"
Right, he just
and he
does
just
it.
eats him, and they're like, "Dude, you can't just eat Quicksilver like that." And he's like,
Quicksilver's
"Sorry."
already gone. That'd be like Hulk.
Yeah, he's just gonna eat Hulk.
Like what? It would be interesting if we're obviously they got to see him attached to Spider-Man though, right? That's like the whole point.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I'm kind of upset because I honestly think there really could be a lot of cool ideas that could come from merging universes like this. Because how is Tobey Maguire going to react to this if he was in No Way Home, which everyone's saying he is, to this Venom? Like, wouldn't that be an interesting dynamic, assuming it was post Spider-Man 3 Tobey Maguire? Because he'd be like, oh, listen, holy shit, Venom is not a good guy. You can't do this, you know? It'd be kind of interesting.
That
But
would be cool.
I really think it'd be like a throwaway line, like, don't touch me.
Don't touch me.
And that'll be it.
I've dealt with you before.
Or like, what if, I don't know.
I don't know. No Way Home, it has very, very, very big shoes to fill.
Sure do.
So, I don't know. I'm not, you know how we feel about Marvel. We've talked about it a million times. I'm not, I don't have super high expectations. So, they can do what they want. All the other people that are like may have made all these theories already and are convinced that this will happen. When it doesn't happen, they're going to be very upset.
Yeah.
So, I don't know what to say about that.
I think we said enough.
Yeah.
What's next that we've seen together? I know there's at least
The
one more.
Gabagool.
The Many Saints of Newark
The Gabagool.
came out, you guys, on HBO Max. That's where I watched it. It was in theaters too.
Yeah.
I watched it on HBO Max. It was
So
a prequel story to The Sopranos.
About Dicky Moltisanti.
The funniest. Well, I guess maybe I should have made this my review of the week, but I didn't.
Okay.
Funniest review I saw of this movie was, this movie isn't about Tony Soprano at all. This should have been called The Moltisantis of Newark.
Yeah, because I didn't realize that it was called The Sopranos of Newark.
And I was
didn't
just
realize.
like, it is called The Moltisantis of Newark. It is. I just thought that was hilarious.
Okay. Wow.
But
that's
yeah,
something.
that says a lot. It's mostly about Dickie Moltisanti, which is Chrissy's daddy-o.
Chrissy's pops.
Yeah.
His papa.
Tony's like, I mean, at the start of the movie, he's like 8, and by the end,
He's
he's
a
like
little
high
kid.
school age.
Mm-hmm.
But it's, yeah, really is not a lot of Tony at all. I would say
Not
even so
really.
far that the trailers were definitely like misleading even.
No, I definitely agree. It's more about, it's obviously more about Dickie, and then kind of about like the impact that Dickie had on Tony's like psyche.
Yeah.
And obviously, basically, he's like the catalyst that pushes Tony into the direction that we see him go at the beginning of the show. And obviously, then he goes on his own journey throughout the show.
I guess a lot of people just assumed, and I would say myself included, that he took a lot more of an active role in that. And it was not. It was completely passive.
Mm-hmm.
Tony just kind of did it himself. Like, it wasn't Dickie being like, there's one scene where he's like, hey, look at this and do this. And that was it.
He's like, I don't want to steal. And he's like, you should steal.
Right. But then the rest of the movie, he's like, oh, don't steal. But it's like that one moment was too much.
Yeah.
And he was just a nice person to Tony, which Tony needed.
Mm-hmm.
Because his father was John Bernthal. It's very distant.
Right. Love John Bernthal. God, he needs to be in more movies.
Yeah.
It's so upsetting.
And you get just like basically only one real revelation to the original series in this film, which would be, of course, Dickie Moltisanti's death.
Right.
And the circumstances
Yes,
of
very
it.
big.
Because in the series, Tony says, oh, this cop, killed your dad. And
Right.
he gets him to go to hit on him, which, as far as I know, is completely false. I guess the guy that shot Dickie could have been a cop, but I don't think it was.
Right. Because at the root of it, it ultimately was Corrado Soprano who called him up and was like, yo.
He laughed at me when I tripped, so
Yeah.
he's gotta go.
He's got to go. He laughed at me. Yeah, so that was a pretty big deal. And I can't think of the name of the actor that plays Corrado, but I thought he was very good. A lot of the performances were pretty solid for most of the characters. There were the dude that plays Polly.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, Syl, the one that plays Syl.
Okay.
Maybe overdoing it a little bit,
Maybe. He got the walk down, though.
but he did have the walk. But he might have been overdoing it a little bit, but still was solid. But the one that stood out to me was Vera Farmiga as Tony's mom.
Mm.
I thought she was like really, really great.
Yeah, she was.
She like nailed it perfectly because obviously the original performance in the show of Tony's mom is like incredible. She is like an incredible actress, and she really tapped into it. I thought she did a fantastic job, and I loved how they included, because if you remember in the show they talk about it, like she tells the story of when he shoots her hair off.
Yeah.
I love how they included that in the film where they're just talking and he just shoots her in the hair. I was just like, that's funny stuff.
Yeah, it was cool.
So there's a lot of cool stuff like that.
If I had to speak more critically on it, I would say I actually didn't enjoy those scenes.
Oh, really?
Just because I was like, oh, I know this. I heard about this. I didn't think it added much by actually seeing it. I was like, oh, it actually did happen. Okay. Which is weird because when I thought of The Sopranos, I always thought of it as sort of, when you think of gangster things, it subverted a lot of those tropes and stuff by going a separate different way. And this one I felt kind of more leaned into what people would expect. And obviously this, and maybe The Sopranos as a whole, the kind of theme that this movie had was just like, what does Sal say in like the prison? It's like misery comes from desire or whatever, comes from wanting things. Yeah. So it's like more and more, which when I take as a meta narrative, it's like, oh, you wanted more Sopranos. Here's this movie that's not as good as the series.
Right.
So it's like you wanted more. It's just a little worse.
Yeah, here it is.
That's so misery on you, you know. But it is weird just having this stuff and seeing scenes like that when it's like feels like excess and something I wouldn't really imagine wanting to do that too much. But you know, who knows?
Right. No, I understand what you're saying, but I enjoyed those scenes personally. Mm-hmm. Well, that one in particular.
There are also quite a few scenes which just felt like a setup for a spinoff going on with the whole like Black Panther and underground movement stuff going on, which just felt, I mean, obviously it dealt directly with Dickie's story, but ultimately it didn't lead to his demise or anything. It was kind of a red herring in that. But it also, with how much time they spent on it, I'm almost like, are they doing a Soprano side story with this guy?
I don't know.
Because they already said that they're talking to try to make more stuff. They just don't have anything planned. So it's like, maybe. I don't know if I'd be that interested.
I mean, we watched The Sopranos very recently, and I don't think either of us, when we talked about like our thoughts on the show, were like, we should do some prequels.
Right, exactly.
So, and especially, they should never ever do a sequel.
That
would be terrible.
There was a deleted scene from this film that was Edie Falco as an older Carmela.
Really?
That they deleted from the film, and I don't know if it's out anywhere yet, but I'm
sure it'll be on the Blu-ray or something
somewhere. Which I'm glad they cut, because like,
yes, please. And I would prefer not to know, but honestly, if that came out on the internet, I would probably watch the scene.
Well, I mean, I'm sure it doesn't have anything about Tony in it. It's just going to be old Carmela, and she'll probably be sold that even if Tony had died or whatever, she wouldn't even mention it.
Okay.
So I'm guessing it wouldn't even be anything like that, because they wouldn't even do that.
Maybe the ending, she's just sitting there like drinking some coffee, and then old Tony comes in, and he's like, "Hey, give me some gabagool."
Played by whom?
And then it ends. Just somebody. Or they could just CGI it.
Or what about Adriana? Adriana comes back. Like, I'm so glad Syl missed me with that bullet in the forest. Oh my god.
Yeah,
that could happen.
Where's Chrissy?
I want to catch up.
Yeah, I got some bad news.
Yeah, watch The Sopranos before you watch this show. I don't know if I'd like this as a prequel, mostly because a major character death is immediately revealed. Like a major character death from like the last season is immediately revealed in like the first 2 minutes of this movie.
He's like, "Remember when he killed me?"
Yeah.
Oh. I was like, okay.
That's technically future, isn't it?
That was the very beginning, and basically any time that the voiceover comes in.
Yeah.
That is all like stuff like that, which I thought that was like
it was weird how like he kind of disappears for the most of the rest of the movie, Christopher.
Right, he only does it like 3 times.
Yeah.
I think.
So,
I don't know. It's an all right film.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's an all right film. Right. I don't think we have anything. Do you have anything for the weeks?
Yeah, sure. I got a few things. I watched Zootopia.
No way.
It was good. I had
You
only
never seen Zootopia?
I had only watched the scene,
Yeah, the Godfather scene.
the Godfather scene.
Yeah, trust me, I know.
I've only watched that scene about 1,000 times or so,
That's unfortunate
with
for us.
and without audio, and with or without the original audio. But that was fun to actually hear it normal, like.
Yeah.
But it was good. I totally forgot, or maybe never knew, that Jason Bateman was Nick Wilde, the fox. So for some reason, he became a lot less sexy.
Oh, really?
Because in your mind, you're like, oh, right, Nick Wilde and Judy Hopps, everyone's like, oh, they're so hot.
Well, yeah.
But then when I heard it was Jason Bateman, I was like, oh, he's a little less hot. Not that Jason Bateman isn't, I mean, he's an old man.
You
But
just don't like the voice.
yeah, I was just like, eh.
You know, like it when Nick Wilde does the voice.
I was thinking, I don't know who I was thinking it would be, but maybe Rick Moranis.
Mm.
Nick Wilde, that'd be way hotter. But no, I liked it a lot. There was a lot of sex jokes in the first like 5 seconds, and I was like, weird.
Yeah.
With all the bunnies,
Yeah, I know.
there's like a lot.
There's a lot going on in Zootopia.
There's a lot of the racism stuff going on. It's cool. I liked the antagonist. I thought was fun, and I caught on because I was like, wait, why is the movie ending here? And I was like, there's like 40 minutes left. Oh, because this is what's happening. So that was cool. I liked it a lot. I thought Zootopia was very fun, very imaginative.
It is a good movie.
Star-studded.
There's just you know, the internet has just done. The internet was the greatest invention and the worst invention.
Seriously, the whole time I was like, man, I can't wait to meet that like dancing tiger character. Not a character. It's just a dancing tiger.
Yeah.
It's not a character at all.
Can't wait for Zootopia 2.
Yeah. Maybe, I don't know what that could be. Humans come?
Humans come.
And Zootopia was good. I also watched Malignant, which is James Wan's new thing, in theaters now and on HBO Max.
Okay.
Maybe not anymore. I don't know. It was a while ago.
Right. They usually do like the 30 days.
But I loved it.
You loved it.
No, I shouldn't say loved. I liked it a lot. I had a great time at the theater.
Interesting.
It was very funny. I went to the theater, and it was me and my friend. We went in, and there was one woman there, all the way in the back seat, like running under the projection, and that was it in the whole theater.
Oh, it was just you two and then the one person by herself?
And then, like, halfway through the movie, she gets up, walks out, never comes back.
Wow, she just
leaves
left.
her popcorn and drink. I don't know if something happened. She had to leave, or if she was just like, fuck this. But we had the whole theater to ourselves. So that was fun. That's always a good time. Not sure how good that is for the movie, but whatever.
Yeah.
Malignant is about a woman
Okay.
who just has a string of bad luck. And basically, she gets these night terrors, kind of, where she gets like paralyzed and she like sees these murders happening. She goes to the police and is like, I saw this guy get murdered. This is exactly how it happened. They're like, OMG, that's so crazy. And it's all these like doctors and shit getting murdered. You're like, that's weird.
Nice.
Full spoilers, by the way. Just
I don't
really
care.
going
I'm
in.
not
I know
gonna
you
see
don't. It's
this
not for
movie.
you. It's for them. It's not for you, because I know. And eventually you find out, like, oh, who's doing these murders? Oh, it's her, the main character.
No way.
But it's not actually her. She was born with a twin. She was, in the womb or whatever. But
Right.
he was kind of like, they kind of chopped him off because he was evil. So they chopped him off. But really, they didn't get all of them. And he ate all of her babies because she got pregnant a bunch and miscarried a ton because he was eating the baby's life energy so he could grow. So he existed in the back of her head. Like, his face was just under her hair on the back of her head.
Like in Harry Potter.
Yeah, just like right back there. So when he would take over, she would just like close her eyes and then she would like walk backwards because his face would be over here.
Right.
So she would like walk like this and she would stab like this.
That's kind of cool.
And so she would like climb shit and like he would just look at you while climbing and he could just like stare at you.
Oh,
you
that's
know?
freaky.
It was very, very freaky. He used like a trophy to kill people. Like he just took a trophy and like reworked it so it had a stabby bit with like wings.
Nice.
And that's how he would kill all the people because his name was Gabriel. he was killing all the doctors, like cut him up and called him like a cancer and dangerous and everything.
Right.
So really, he didn't do anything wrong, if you look at it that way.
I mean, okay.
They literally just tried to kill him. He's just, what are you supposed to do? They tortured him, did experiments on him. Seems fair.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, okay.
Sure. And I don't know, it was just really cool because there's like there's like action scenes at the end, like full on killing a room full of cops.
Nice.
And just like doing the backwards, throwing chairs like all the way across the room, and all this done backwards. It's so funny looking. But it's honestly great, and it ends on a high note, even though it does end and you're like, really? Not going to answer any more questions? Okay, sure, fine.
Nah.
Excited for Malignant 2, where maybe...
They set up for a Malignant 2?
No.
Oh.
But I'm thinking maybe there could be something like she has another face on somewhere on her body.
On her butt. And
then it would say, or maybe another character was secretly had one as well, and they're Malignant too.
She has a butt face.
Could be. Like Society.
Yeah.
It's a movie called Society, not Society, like the concept.
Oh.
There's a movie called Society where a guy, and he's like, I guess I am a butthead. He like throws up everybody, and everyone starts having sex.
Wow, that sounds great.
It's a good movie. I also watched one more, which was probably the highlights of my weeks.
I've heard many people talk about this flick.
It's called Titney.
Is that what it's called?
It's called Titan. It is French for titanium, like the song. This is the new film from Julia Ducournau, or however you say it. You may know her from Raw. If you've seen Raw, you may know her from that. Similar vibes to Raw. Similar stuff going on.
Define similar, like gross?
There's some gross shit in this.
Like
nothing
really
as gross as the one seen in Raw still, thank God. But there's one that gets really close.
Really? Because I gagged watching Raw.
I thought it was close, but maybe not. It just depends on what makes you feel.
Does it involve the mouth?
Yep.
Oh my God. I'm probably in trouble then.
That's the one that got me at least the most, but it depends on how you feel about it. Don't want to talk about this too much because I don't want to ruin anything for you, but
yes,
most people when they hear this movie now, they know the one sentence descriptor of the film, right? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't. I actually have no idea what this movie's about. I'm sure people are like, this is fucked up movie.
Wow, then I really can't say anything.
Okay. I know that like apparently the main character is like a firefighter, I think.
Okay. Okay.
That's my extent of knowledge.
Sure. All right. Most people have a different understanding of the movie.
Okay.
Because it's the movie where the woman does blank. And that's what people know it as. But you don't even know that, so I can't say anything.
She fights the fires, dude.
No, it's something else. So I can't... That's it. Titan. It was good. I liked it. Did I like it more than Raw? Do I even want to talk about what like the movie's about, Like, I don't know. Because I don't know if that would
work for you.
It's up to you
if you think that it might compromise my viewing experience.
Well, I think it might even aid it a little bit if you went into it thinking about it. Maybe.
Okay.
Do you think?
If you think... I don't know.
I think that one of the big things I took away from this film was it exploring the ideas of, like, gender expression, between either male genders, female, like, just gender expression as a whole. And I won't go any further than that, but that's kind of what I took a lot of it from, and looking at it from all angles, and each character, kind of how they do it themselves and how they fit in. It works that way. The main character is quite a thing, so I'd have plenty to say about her when you watch the film. But I guess that's all I can say right now. Sorry if that's disappointing to anybody.
Sorry. It's my fault, honestly, that I didn't see it.
Yeah, it's okay. But he'll get around to it eventually.
I will see the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I will.
I'll force him.
Okay.
Because I want to talk about it.
I'm calling an audible here for all our football fans out there. Go Browns. I saved one of mine for last.
Okay.
Obviously, if you lived on planet Earth for the past 2 weeks, you've probably heard of this. You might even be thinking to yourself while listening to this podcast, man, they haven't talked about this yet. What the heck? I am, of course, speaking of the worldwide phenomenon.
Wow.
Known as Squid Game.
Squid Game. Red light, green light.
I have seen Squid Game. You have not seen Squid Game.
Nah.
So I can't go too far. We can't
Well, I don't know.
really dissect it.
That's up to you.
What do you mean?
I mean, I don't care if I get spoiled. I feel like I've already kind of been spoiled because people have been like talking about characters and like stuff, and it's just impossible to not see if you're online at all.
Okay. I won't go too far.
Okay.
This show is about there's a bunch of people who are in some form of debt, like whatever kind of debt they're in. They play this game. This dude will approach them. The main dude from Train to Busan.
Okay.
He will approach them. It's funny because he plays like a really small part in this. He's only in like 2 episodes.
Interesting.
Real short. And then he's like, hey, you want to play this game with me? If every time you lose, I get to slap you in the face. But if you win, you can get money. And they're like, yeah, okay. So then they play or whatever. But this guy is like God tier at this game. And he never loses. But then you finally beat him. And then he's like, here, take this card. You want to win even more money than you just won? Call this phone number. So a bunch of people call the phone number. And they're like, okay, we can play this game. So they all go to this game. They're like, sick. They show up at the game. There's 456 people in the game. They're like, cool. Look at all this money you can win. I think it's like 100 million won for each person. So there's like the prize money is like 45.6 billion won, which is like, I did the conversion. It's like $35 million US dollars, which is a lot of money.
Yeah.
They quickly find out that the game is not quite what you would think, as obviously in the very first game they do play red light, green light, and if you move during the red light, you will get shot and you will die.
Nice.
As many of them find out.
So wait, okay, question.
Yes.
Is it you will get shot and you will die, or you will get shot and if you die is up to you, or it's like they will kill you?
They will kill you.
Okay. So it's not just like you'll get shot and because you're shot you'll most likely die. It's no, they will shoot you until you're dead.
Yeah, you will
Okay.
die.
Important distinction, I think.
It is important. Because if they like shoot you, but then they like find that like maybe you're like still alive a little bit, they'll kill you. They'll kill you. So that scene's really interesting because basically the first people, there's these 2 dudes who are like, yeah, we're going to run really fast because we want to beat red light, green light first. And obviously they're like kind of like skidding when the thing says red light and the one dude gets shot. And then like they realize that like he got shot. And so a bunch of people like freak out and start like running away. Mm-hmm. But it's red light.
Right.
Idiots.
Dummies.
So like 200 people die like right off the rip.
Wow. I'd feel really good.
Bunch of idiots. And that's basically the first episode. If you're not hooked after the first episode, I would recommend just not watching the show.
Oh, wow. Okay.
If you don't enjoy the first episode and you're like, yep, this is cool, then you probably won't enjoy the rest of the show, I wouldn't think, because that's what the first episode is, what the show is.
Yeah.
And then I think the show is very good. The only main issue I have with it is there's this one storyline that I won't go too deep into with a detective that isn't really explored as much as I would like it to be, would have liked it to be. Maybe since apparently I guess there's going to be a season 2, which I'm against. I think.
Oh, wow.
Well, it sets up for a season 2, but I wish that this was like just a mini series. I think it would have worked a lot better.
I know the creator or whatever said that if there was a season 2, he'd like need help. He couldn't like do it all over again by himself.
Right. Yeah, I did see that too. Yeah. But I would have liked more from that. And then also the show, I think everyone would probably agree that episode 6, there's 9 episodes. Episode 6 is like by far the best episode of the show. I thought it was really, really great episode of television. Extremely emotional. Definitely the best episode of the series. After that peak point, I think the last 3 episodes kind of fall off. Not like super hard, not like falling off a cliff, but like going down the hill on a sled. There's just a lot of things that happen. Some characters introduced that I find to be very like annoying and like strange. And I kind of see what they were going for. I don't know if it was just a translation issue because I saw that there's a lot of like translation problems with like the subtitles and what was going on
The
there.
stuff that I saw about that, it makes me wonder if the problem really lies in the translation or if it just lies in like there being certain cultural differences that can't really be explained just by a direct translation, you know?
Right.
Because a lot of things I saw was like one character starts calling a character by a different name, and in that language it's like this highest esteem, like, oh my gosh, you're so way above me, you're like a god to me.
Right.
And they change it to like sir, you know, which is like, yeah, it's a sign of respect, but like it's just a culture thing where it's like, we don't really seem to have a word where it makes it, you put someone in like that high of esteem, so unless you say like my lord. Like, you know,
my lord.
You know, so it seems like maybe it's if it like a little unfair, and just the little bit I've seen, because again I don't want to get spoiled, so I didn't look too deep, to just be like, oh, the translation is bad, when it really seems like it's almost like a deeper, there's just way too many cultural differences to like,
that's true,
just do a quick translation and have it be acceptable.
I'm sure it's not too terrible because I mean, like I said, most people think the show is really great. There is one though that I saw that I was like, oh, that it's kind of weird that they put it like that. There's a part where this one lady is like, I'm trying to remember what it says in the subtitle. She's like, let me be on your team. Like, I'm not that smart, but like the things I'm good at, I am good at, or whatever.
Yeah.
But it was like the direct translation is like, oh, let me be on your team. I'm not that smart, but that's because like I never had the chance to like get educated.
Right. Yeah.
So it was more of like
that.
a speak on like what's happening.
And I heard the translation was, I am that smart, I just never had the money to get educated.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah. That's probably what it was.
Yeah.
So that one I was kind of like, they couldn't have done that. So I don't know how translating a show works, you know, whatever. So yeah. I won't speak too much more on Squid Game. It's obviously a huge phenomenon. I get it. It's very appealing to mass audiences. I get it.
Yeah. See, when I first heard Squid Game, I thought this was about like having paint guns and you shoot it and then you fly into the paint and then you.
Yeah.
Isn't that what Squid Game is?
That's Splatoon.
Yeah.
Oh. Obviously, like the Halloween costume.
Oh my god!
Like, I know this Halloween is gonna be crazy with like the little minion dudes with the triangles or like just anything. Obviously, there's a few characters that people are really latched onto, simping for a little bit, like Player 67. I know people are going crazy for her,
man.
Which I get it. It's a cool show. There's just a few things that I didn't very much enjoy, but it was very enjoyable overall, especially episode 6. I cannot praise. That's a really great episode.
Highlight. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, that'll do it for our weeks then. We can head straight into the news.
Into the news.
Into the news. Into the news. Into the news.
The news, which is is news short for something?
Yes. It's actually long for something. It's long for new.
Wow.
I don't know. It's literally the news. It's new.
Isn't that weird
stuff,
though? Like,
right?
Language is so strange.
It's got to be. I don't know that for a fact, but I'm just assuming.
News, because there's newspaper, which is just the news but on the paper.
Yeah.
So why is this not called like news computer?
Newsputer.
Newsputer.
Well, Squid Game is very popular because it was #1 in 90 different countries.
Yeah, it's not surprising. It's literally everywhere.
I just want to point that out. So yeah, Halloween is going to be a lot of this going on. Absolutely crazy.
Like if you get on TikTok and like scroll, like you'll get like ads on TikTok every now and then. Like every single ad is like, get your Squid Game costume.
Nice.
That's like, wow. Okay.
And they look simple too. You know, like
yeah, it's
costumes.
easy.
It's an easy costume. Yeah, that'll be good. I will not be a Squid Game for Halloween, but that's okay.
I will not be a Squid Game.
Squids are, they're kind of bestial, and I would say they're even fantastic.
Terrible segue.
So Fantastic Beasts 3.
Boo.
It's April what?
Boo.
No, Fantastic Beasts 3 is a good series. It's Halloween porker.
Boo. Fantastic Beasts 3.
April
Boo.
2022 release date. Now subtitled The Secrets of Dumbledore.
Can't wait.
So it'll be all of his gay lovers. That's his secret.
Yeah, I know.
Or is Dumbledore always angry?
That's my secret, Harry.
Yeah, that'll happen. So.
Listen. First Fantastic Beasts, it's okay. The second one is a complete and utter failure. Terrible movie.
Mm-hmm.
They do something at the end of Fantastic Beasts 2 that is like so terrible. And it's just kind of like a big middle finger to like everybody that likes Harry Potter.
Yeah. But hey, it's supposed to be Mads Mikkelsen now.
It just makes me mad.
In this one, it's supposed to be Mads Mikkelsen instead of Johnny Depp.
Oh,
remember?
Great.
Yep.
I'm not excited, but I'm going to see it, damn it.
Are you excited for the rest of Disney's 2021 slate of movies?
I don't even know what they are.
Because they'll have exclusive theatrical releases. It's The Eternals, it's The Last Duel, it's Encanto, and it's West Side Story.
The Last Duel is Disney?
Yep.
What's not Disney anymore?
Datney.
What's Encanto?
That's like Coco, but it's animated.
Coco.
Yeah.
Fun fact, I've seen Coco probably upwards of 50 times, not by choice. I've been tortured.
Yeah.
Please send help.
Never watch Coco ever again.
It's
It
true,
sucks
though.
'cause Coco's good.
It is good, but I don't want to watch that movie ever again.
Also, Ron's Gone Wrong.
Is that a Harry Potter spinoff? Wrong.
It's like Harry Potter's like Joker equivalent, where it's just Ron's Gone Wrong, and he's in the mirror and he just does
Yeah.
makes himself smile, and he's getting like bullied, and they're like, gingers don't have souls, and he's like, then I'll just have to eat yours.
Yeah. Interesting. I don't know. Cool.
Ron's
Eternals. I'm actually being serious. I want to see Eternals because I have no idea what Eternals is about.
Right.
But I just see Jon Snow and Robb Stark, the King in the North.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, you know what? Sure. I see the King in the North shoot lasers out of his eyes.
Yeah.
Sure. Sign me up. I'll go see it. I'm personally interested because it seems very different from the other Marvel movies,
Chloe
which
Zhao.
I'm sure when I see it, it won't be.
Right.
But, and obviously, yeah, Chloe Zhao behind it is cool. So I kind of want to see that. Kill me.
What's strange about the film is that, I guess just because they're all new characters, but
And Paperboy's in it.
it's weird because like none of them seem like. Maybe it's just because I also don't know anything about the Eternals. But none of them seem like MCU. Like I don't see them with the rest of the gang.
I know. That's why I'm interested because
You
it
know?
looks so like far removed from like the MCU that
I
we
don't
know.
see Spider-Man being like, "Hey,
Hey,
King
what's
of the
up?
North."
King in the North. That'd be funny. Could they do a joke like that where he's like, "Hey, I think I saw you on this TV show." He's like, "Nope, not me."
That'd be a really stupid joke. I would hate that. I would hate it.
Maybe Greywind will come back in Eternals.
Maybe, I don't know. I don't want to think about it. Whatever. The Eternals.
Yay, Disney.
Coming to a theater near you. WandaVision spinoff, starring Catherine Hahn in the works at Disney Plus.
Who's Catherine Hahn?
She's the bad guy from WandaVision.
Gotcha.
She's Agatha Harkness. How do you feel about that?
Agatha.
It was Agatha all along.
Oh my gosh. So now she's getting her own show?
Yep.
Whatever.
I'm hoping that every bad guy from now on, from every Disney anything, will also get their own spinoff.
That would be really great.
That would be awesome. I hope every character from every show ever gets a spinoff in
Wow.
Disney. That would just be like incredible.
That would just be really great.
I don't know. I mean, it's
I'm not interested.
really
in.
feels like milking it to me, but who knows?
Yeah.
Feels like milking it.
Thank you.
Marvel suing to keep rights to Avengers characters from copyright termination.
Cool.
Blockbuster lawsuits filed today will decide future ownership of characters including Iron Man and Spider-Man.
Why do they care about Iron Man anymore? Is he coming back?
Well, they probably just want the rights to the characters so other people can't use it and shit.
Maybe someone will make a better movie.
A better... I mean, like, they could.
If someone bought Iron Man, who are you casting for Iron Man in the new Iron Man movie?
Robert Downey Jr.
You know what? I think he might be pretty
I
good.
think he might be pretty good. Daniel Craig.
No, actually, it would be really hard to if someone did like purchase Iron Man to like make another Iron Man movie because Robert Downey Jr. is so like he is Tony Stark.
Right, you'd have to make an animated something for it to even be like, because then people's radars wouldn't even like cross them, you know?
Yeah.
Just be like totally separate. Because with animated, people don't think about animated people as like people. They're just the characters. Like they don't think of the voice actors as people.
Right.
It's just like, no, that's the character and that's it. So that's the only way you can do it when someone's so in there.
Yep.
But yeah. Good old Cillian Murphy. Killian Murphy? Have we ever decided which one?
Cillian just sounds cooler.
Is it Chilean? Maybe it's like a
It's definitely not Chilean.
Cillian Murphy. Confirmed to star as J. Robert Oppenheimer in Christopher Nolan's next film at Universal.
Cool.
In July.
Striking resemblance.
Yeah, I didn't really know, but like, damn, they look
that is a striking resemblance.
creepily similar. Like maybe
Reincarnation.
I mean, even look at the lip.
They got the same deal. He
Like,
has more of a
fuller top lip.
yeah.
Yeah.
Top lip is little.
But the nose, the eyes,
The eyebrows, maybe
the eyebrows, not
maybe not
too
as
bad,
much.
but, and the ears.
Very they look very similar.
They do. That'll be very cool.
Cool. Christopher Nolan movie. I'm always excited.
Yeah. And this will be great because, assuming that since the movie is about Oppenheimer, he's going to be the main character.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
That's actually kind of a big deal. When I went and looked back at Cillian Murphy's like career,
He's not really a leading man.
really the main thing was his TV show Peaky
Blinders.
Peaky Blinders was like his big thing. I looked and I was like, well, he's been a supporting in like a lot of huge movies, like a lot.
Yeah.
But leading man, he really hasn't been given the chance. So this is actually really, really
Here we
cool.
go.
I thought.
Thank you, Christopher Nolan.
Thank you, Chrissy.
Chrissy.
Box office, Dune debuts.
Let's go.
Internationally with 36
Let's
million doll hairs.
I think that's good. I don't know. I think that's good. Hopefully. Keep it going. Give all the money to Dune. I saw Parasite in theaters 5 times. I will try to cap that with 6 times seeing Dune, hopefully, as long as I enjoy it. I'm almost certain I will. I've read many reviews. It seems like I will very much enjoy this film.
Why don't you just buy 5 tickets and then just go to one showing?
Why would I do that when I could watch it 5 times?
Well, I thought it was
6
about
times.
supporting the movie, not just actually watching it over and over.
I'm still supporting it if I see it again. I still pay for another ticket.
I know, but I just thought that you were going over and over to support it, not to watch it over and over again. But you're saying that you're doing it
Both.
for both reasons. Yeah.
Because give me that part 2, baby, because
Right.
the
true.
second half of the book
needs to happen.
is just wildly interesting.
Needs
this
to-
is one of the greatest sci-fi stories ever.
Needs to happen, even if it was like
Please.
4 years from now. Be very great if that happened for us.
That's good. 36 million. I think
Promising
hopefully
start.
that's good.
Promising start. IATSE. Gonna find out what it means
International
to me.
Association.
Members vote to authorize nationwide film and TV production strike. The members of the International Alliance of Theatrical Stage Employees have voted to approve a strike authorization, giving the union president the power to shut down film and TV production across the country. The vote passed with 98.7% support and 90% turnout. Basically, they're saying, let's have like work rights that make sense. Let's be allowed to have lunches and let's be allowed to take breaks.
No.
And
No.
looks
Make the movie.
no. I hope that this goes through and everyone gets.
I'm
paid
just
more.
kidding. Everyone needs a break, damn it.
And that'll be good. But yeah, it passed like shockingly. I mean, really not shockingly.
Yeah,
because
not
it's the
shockingly,
People
what?
that
These are human beings.
yeah,
They
people
need
who
to
said
rest.
no are more shocking. That wasn't
Yeah, it's like
100%.
what? They're like, no, you know what? I want to work a 16-hour day.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
8 days in a row.
I
Let's
want to
go.
do it. Of course, we have one more news story that we couldn't forget. This is
Couple
big
more,
news.
actually.
A couple more. Then let's do the other one first. Then
Okay. Another thing, unless you live under a rock, you probably noticed that like a few days ago, HBO Max released a teaser trailer for the new Game of Thrones story, House of the Dragon. OMG. I don't know. I couldn't really get a read on the reception to this. It seemed like many people, including myself, were like, I'll watch it, but this is it right
Okay.
here.
yeah, I
You
mean,
better do it.
at
or
least the
it's
source
over.
material's done.
right? That's cool.
That's a pretty big deal.
They don't have to make anything up.
I guess I was just relies on how it starts. If it starts and people are like, oh, it's good, then a lot of people will probably hop on. It just depends on those few people who are willing to give it the chance,
which is me,
to watch it and be like, oh, yeah, everyone should watch it because it's like good old-fashioned Game of Thrones at its peak, good stuff, you know?
We'll see.
Because really it should, with everything already written out for them.
Yep.
You know?
It's just one book, so it shouldn't be very long of a series.
It should be like peak Game of Thrones quality good, right?
We see. Well, I don't know what people think of the book.
Right, true.
Which I have recently ordered the book, and I will be reading it before.
Okay, there you go.
So I could give a little insight, but I don't know. I know the book it's like shorter than his like big Game of Thrones novels. So I don't know. I would just assume that this is going to be like a mini series almost, probably just like 10 episodes. Boom.
Yeah.
Here's the Targaryens.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
Did you have any other news stories?
I have one thing. This is very near and dear to me. If you've been listening to the show for a while, you know that I love, 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 love The Expanse.
Yes.
On Amazon. Obviously, we know that the next season, season 6, will be the final season. A trailer recently released for it, or it was like a teaser. Looks cool. It comes out in December. Very exciting. I saw a thing, though, that makes me kind of worried.
What's that?
It is only going to be 6 episodes.
Oh, that's very short.
Yes, which makes me kind of nervous because obviously each season of the show has adapted one book in 10 episodes. Or like one of the seasons I think is 12, but like basically 10 episodes for each season.
Okay.
And it's just done an entire book for each one. And it's not like the 6th book, which is what they're going to be adapting for this season, is like shorter than the other books. So if it's 6 normal length episodes, I mean, they're just going to have to like cut stuff. And, you know, I have a strange feeling that it might feel like rushed and some things might not feel totally fleshed out. I'm kind of nervous about that because obviously we've been hurt in the past. So that just makes me scared. But I really hope that's really
I guess
good.
I just try not to worry about it. Seems pointless.
Okay.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Final huge news story. Rock the world. East, the west, the north,
and the
and
south,
the rest.
and the southwest, southeast,
And the rest.
the northeast,
The north and the
northwest,
rest. That covers the rest and it rhymes.
and the northwest, and the northwest to west.
And the north by northwest. Guys,
What do we got?
Chris Pratt is Mario. He's been casted.
Just incredible.
He is Mario. Everyone is very excited across the board. Big smiles all around. Very, very happy. This was in the Nintendo Direct that Shigeru Miyamoto himself announced this. And he was like, I love Chris Pratt. His abs are like just what I envisioned for Mario. So it's great. Mario, as you know, is only 25 years old. So Chris can bring that youthful energy to the role.
Yep.
I think he's really going to pull it off. I think I heard there's a scene where Mario protests against abortion, which I think Chris Pratt is a great thing for that as well. I think there's a gay conversion therapy scene for Luigi.
Nice.
It's all very exciting stuff.
Wow.
Chris Pratt, Mario.
I'm interested. Will he be doing like a Mario voice, or will he be doing Chris Pratt?
I'm pretty sure he's doing a voice.
What would be weirder, if Mario just sounded like Chris Pratt, or if Mario sounded like Chris Pratt trying to sound like Mario?
I have no idea. Well, he did have a little Instagram video. Should we watch it? That he talked about. It's just like a really short thing about getting the role.
Should we?
I don't know. Do you want to?
Yes, kind of.
Okay.
I don't know. Is it?
So he's just talking about like, well, let's play it here.
And it had Super Mario Brothers, the original arcade game.
So yeah, when he was a kid.
Oh, I love that game.
He loves.
I never
the
had
game.
a quarter. It felt like
Okay.
I'd either steal them from the wishing well. That's wild.
His face he made.
Just dawned on me right now.
Really thinking about
The
it.
quarter I stole out of the wishing well to play Super Mario Brothers has come true that I get to be the voice of Mario. But I clearly stole someone else's wish, so just waiting for that.
Bad vibes.
that row of karma dominoes to come crashing down on me. But as it is right now, it's a Mario.
Oh.
That's not the voice. You have to wait to hear the voice, but we've been working hard at it. And
I hope he
really
keeps
excited
that
to
exact
announce that
voice
I'm
in
gonna
the
be
film.
The voice of that video game that I dreamed about playing as a kid.
He
Dreams
just
come true.
no. He just clarified while you were guffawing that that's not the voice.
Oh,
He
dang
said
it.
he was working on it really hard, but like
It's a me, Mario.
it's a Mario.
That would be so funny.
But I love how he clarified right. Oh, guys, that's not the voice. That's not the voice. We're working on it really hard.
That's funny.
Clarified too quickly because I also laughed really hard when I first heard that.
I wonder, will there be like will he do the death voice like that?
You think Mario's gonna die?
Well, he'll come back.
Oh, okay.
He'll just be at
Do
the
you think
beginning
Mario's
of the
gonna
level.
die and it's gonna be like, oh, and then he's gonna like cut the head off a toad and eat it, and he's gonna be like, let's go, let's go. He's gonna do it,
I don't know.
and then Luigi's gonna be like, Mario,
Luigi.
Mario. Who do we got? We got Chris Pratt, of course, it's Mario. Charlie Day of Always Sunny fame, I would say, as Luigi, which I like that. I don't mind that at all. Anya Taylor-Joy as Princess Peach, which, I mean, she's just in everything, so
Sure.
whoop-de-doo. We have
She's very famous.
Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong.
That's the one that's just, Well, Seth, like, is he gonna speak?
Yeah, sure. I mean, of course. He's going to do, you know, that Seth Rogen laugh. Keegan-Michael Key as Toad, which I actually like. I think that's actually
Could be
good
good.
casting.
It's the best one though.
Fred Armisen as Cranky Kong.
Oh, not that one.
And I like Fred Armisen.
Okay.
Kevin Michael Richardson as Kamek, and Sebastian Maniscalco as Spike. And Charles Martinet is supposedly going to have like cameo roles. He is the actual voice actor for Mario and like the games and shit.
Right.
Apparently going to have cameo roles and stuff. I've always thought that if you're going to make a Mario movie, it should be like a Wall-E type shit where Mario, all the other characters speak, but Mario doesn't talk. If he does, it's just his little, you know, blurbs.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like maybe we even talked about this way back when we were talking about the Mario movie, that he shouldn't talk.
But like none of the characters in Mario talk.
That's not true.
Like
Bowser talks, and a few of them, and at least one of them, he talks with Bowser Jr. and shit.
like actually talks.
Peach talks. Peach talks. She writes her letters and stuff, and she reads them out to you.
Right. Peach definitely talks. That's facts.
I don't know if Donkey Kong really ever talks,
There's no way Donkey Kong talks.
but at least in Peach and Bowser. Also, Bowser is Jack Black, by the way.
great choice.
Peach and Bowser have definitely spoken. The others, maybe not so much, other than their little shouts, you know.
When does Bowser speak? Like
So-
actually speak?
Mario
where you can
Sunshine, the
hear
whole
his
entire
voice?
game, he's
See,
talking.
that's
He's
like the one Mario game I haven't played.
He's like, I love you, my son. Let's go kill Mario. He's like, Dad.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fair.
How's your
That's funny. It's like the one Mario I haven't played.
Donkey Kong impression?
I will.
That's what he sounds like, right?
I will not be participating in this exercise.
What about your Bowser?
I prefer to do Mario and Luigi.
Okay. What about your Peach?
Mario.
That's perfect. I think they should cast you as Peach and fuck off Anya Taylor-Joy.
What about Daisy? Who's playing
ATJ?
Daisy?
Daisy's like, yeah.
I love Daisy in the Mario Kart games. She's so funny.
She's so loud.
If you like pass somebody and you're playing Daisy, she always like looks back and she's like, bye bye.
Yeah,
It's so
she's-
funny.
Daisy is straight savage, bro.
She's a beast though, for
She's
real.
beast mode. Okay.
Is Dry Bones gonna be in this?
Yeah, he's Mahershala Ali.
Marshmallow, nice.
Yeah, that's straight up. And then
I love Dry Bones.
who would Goomba? Who would the Goomba be?
Who would be a good Goomba?
We're treading dangerous ground.
Christian Bale, probably.
Christian Bale? You think he'd method act it
He would definitely
and
method
like
act the Goomba.
cut his legs off and just go straight
Bale
torso to feet?
He would do it. He
Yeah,
would do it.
maybe. Well, Shy Guy. Ooh, maybe like Shy Guy could be. Oh, I don't know.
Shy Guy.
Oh, why am I blanking on his name? Flash. Ezra Miller.
Ooh, he could be a good
He
Shy
could be
Guy.
a Shy Guy. Yeah.
The other one I'm thinking of is, I think his name's David. I can't remember his last name, but he's in like He's the polka dot guy in Suicide
Oh,
Squad.
yeah. Okay.
He could be a good shy guy.
He would be a good
His
try.
name's David, I know, but I don't know what his last name is.
What about Wario and Waluigi? Waluigi could be the other Always Sunny guy, the guy who plays Dennis. You know, that would be a
I
good
don't know,
Waluigi.
sorry.
Well, okay, well that could be him. I forget his name, but
What about Wario?
fuck, I wish I didn't forget his name.
Are they going to be in this?
Danny something? No,
Waluigi
probably
and Wario?
not.
Why not?
'Cause
they
I-
need to go all in.
But
Who would be Wario?
Elon Musk.
That would be great.
That'd be good.
Great choice.
Or like the other guy from Always Sunny.
Yeah.
What's his name?
I don't know.
The fat guy. Why everyone knows his name? I don't know why I'm forgetting. Danny DeVito.
Oh,
God damn it.
okay. Sorry, I've never seen it. It's Always Sunny.
Yeah, that'd be good. Actually, they should have got the girl in it to be Princess Peach. They could have just had an Always Sunny reunion right in the middle of the Mario movie.
That would have been fun.
That'd be funny as shit. That's it for the news.
Is shit funny?
Yep. Mine is.
Okay, fine. OMG. You know what time it is?
007, are you there?
Hello.
Hello, Poppet.
Hello, M.
Hello, M. Q.
I'm
C.
currently at the pub getting myself a martini.
shaken, not stirred.
Not stirred. Is it something I need to do, M?
We're talking about Casino Royale first. Well, we're doing Spotlight. Daniel Craig Bond
Daniel
films.
Craig. He's the newest Bond. He's not Bond anymore. His last movie just came out. He made 5 movies. We're going to talk about all 5 of them.
All 5 of them right here, right now.
Bam, bam, ba-jam, bam, bam, bam.
And the first one's from 2006. All the way back 2006 was his breakout one.
Boom.
Martin Campbell directing Casino Royale.
This is a movie.
This is a movie. I got poker chip right here
Um,
because it's all about the poker.
I think I read that a lot of people, when this one first came out, a lot of people were like, no.
Well, yeah, because it's not very Bond. It's kind of an anti-Bond.
A lot of people are like, that really love, like, the Sean Connery age, are like, fuck Daniel Craig.
Mm-hmm.
He's not my Bond.
Yeah, hashtag.
He has blue eyes, damn it, and blonde hair.
He's not hairy enough.
Yeah, and he's too sad all the time.
Mm-hmm. He needs to be funnier. And there's no Q and there's no Moneypenny. You know?
What the flip, man?
People are upset.
Well, I'm here to tell you that Casino Royale rocks.
Casino Royale's really, really good.
It's a great movie.
It starts in that stark black and white. And I was like, oh.
That was cool. I thought that was
cool.
cool. Yeah, it starts in the cool black and white scene, and he's like, kills the dude. Well, you don't see him kill the dude. They give like flashes to it, and the dude's like, the second one shoots him because he's gonna say that the second one is easier.
He's like, you're right.
And he's like, you're right. And then he gets his 00 status because he killed 2 people.
Mm-hmm.
Bam, bam. Title sequence comes on with the song.
And this one is all about the clubs, the spades, the
Yeah.
diamonds, the hearts.
It's cool.
It's really done just silhouetted, black and red people getting shot all over the place.
Right, yeah.
A lot of it going up. I'm sure there's kaleidoscope shit happening there too. 'Cause
Always
it's in like
is.
all of them. Very cool. Well,
It's a cool title sequence.
I think we can rank the movies and the title sequences like separately. Probably
rank the movies, rank the title sequences. What about the songs? We rank the songs,
songs
separately too? So we'll have
I
3
guess we'll do
lists.
separately. Yeah.
Okay, that'll be fun.
Then we could rank the girls.
Okay. I don't know if that's a great idea.
Hottest. No. Yeah, we can definitely do songs, title sequences, and then overall films, of course. of
Okay.
course.
Good. Okay, and then I think this might be a hot take. I don't know. Maybe it's not a hot take. I don't know. The very opening, after the black and white and the title sequence,
The chase of this film.
there is an elongated chase sequence that's probably like a solid 15, 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And it is like the greatest chase scene like ever.
Yeah, it's really, 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 really good.
It's really good. It's massive. They go up, they go down, they go through. There's awesome stunts happening, cool parkour stuff. The camera work is really slick, and you can it's like the most like easy to understand chase everywhere. Like the whole time I was like, I know exactly where James Bond is, I know exactly where the dude he's chasing is at all the time. And they do these crazy stunts. They climb up on that crane.
Yeah.
And do like the crane stuff.
It's in like a structure that's being built. It's just all girders and shit.
And they run around. It's crazy. And I was like, this is awesome.
This is art.
It is
James
one
Bond
of the
art.
best action scenes in the
series.
whole series.
In the whole 5-film series.
It is awesome.
For sure. It's really, tremendously strong start.
Yeah.
Which I think is one of the reasons why, and I'll get into this later, even though it's definitely at least, I mean, it's tough for me to pick my favorite spot, but usually it's because I feel like the start is so strong that it makes the ending feel even weaker to me.
Okay.
Because I don't care for like the very, very end that much of this film.
Yeah.
It's almost like a double-edged sword of how good and how pumped it gets you right at the beginning.
Right.
Because this movie does kind of halt and switch gears a little bit and goes heavy into like some spy shit later on.
Yeah.
Because you have your antagonist, Le Chiffre, in this one. And
Mads
Mikkelsen, and he weeps blood occasionally.
cries blood because his tear duct is ruptured.
But it's totally cool. Don't worry about it. It's not evil.
It's all right. He can just wipe it up. It's not a problem. It's not his fault, okay?
Yeah, it's a defect. Don't be a dick.
Jeez.
Jesus. Bond.
He's great.
In this film, yeah, as like a villain and antagonist.
He's probably the second best villain.
Okay, sure. Yeah. No, now I think about it, I can't really disagree. Again, another thing, I do feel like I hate how sidelined he gets by the end of it.
I would agree.
Which is a shocking thing, but I don't know. It kind of just in the grand scheme of things, especially when it's this great overarching story, I was like, man, Le Chiffre really didn't matter by the end of it, you know? I would say that was maybe the one downfall I kind of had with the saga, was that they made every single character all leading up to like Spectre, right? That was the whole thing. So it's like really none of them mattered. Spectre's the real bad guy. I thought it actually hurt most of the films, that it couldn't have just been, they were like directly reporting to him. You know, it wasn't, oh, he just happened to be in control. It's like, no, they were all working explicitly to do it. And I felt like that kind of sucked by the end of it. I was like, that's kind of stupid, at least to me. But of course, that's not a fault of this movie. That's a fault of Spectre. And we'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get to Spectre. Yeah, he's great. Yeah, honestly, I'm trying to think. Yeah, about halfway through, they begin the poker game.
Yeah.
Now, I have heard, I don't know, personally, I know nothing about poker.
Okay, I know very little.
I don't know how to play. I don't know how anything works. I just know you look at people and you're like, what's up?
Well, that's not part of, that's part of the game. That's technically not even part of the game, you know?
Right. But I've heard that the poker is really bad.
Oh, yeah?
That's just what I've heard. I've heard that the poker that they play is like really bad, and like if you know poker, you're gonna get like mad.
Interesting.
Because I thought the poker scene was very engaging. Because it's long. It's like 45 minutes of the movie, maybe
very
an hour.
long. Yeah.
And I was like, this is cool. Poker's awesome. But apparently, it's not. I don't know though. It's just what I've heard.
Yeah, I guess it depends on like, I mean, the stakes are very, very high because it's more than just the money. It's also like terrorism.
Yeah.
So it's like the money plus terrorism.
Right. And my dude gets poisoned.
And he gets poisoned right in the middle of the match. And he has to go resuscitate himself. But he's saved by Vesper. Vesper. How do you feel about Vesper?
He was in love with her.
He was in love with her.
He was actually in love with her.
You really do be in love
and
with her.
she is, I mean, she dies in this movie, but she like sends ripples through literally the rest of the series. She is important in the very last movie.
She's probably mentioned in like every single one.
Yes, she's very important.
Which is another thing that always got me with this. I guess one of the reasons why Casino Royale gets bad for me is because of just the retroactive effect that it had on everything, where I was like, man, I wish Casino Royale wasn't so important.
Yeah.
You know? But I get it, because it's like, how else do you make the emotional payoff like work when you're doing this huge overarching story? It's just a fault of them back then. I mean, this is 2006, and they're planning this huge, 5-movie long thing. So they maybe just bit off a little bit more than they could chew back then.
Could have.
By either not setting up enough or not giving enough time for stuff to develop. Yeah, I don't know. Vesper, wasn't crazy about Vesper.
I like Vesper.
I mean, I didn't hate her, but like, I Bond being such an emotionless being in like 4 out of 5 of these films, when it was like, oh, he loves her, I was like, oh, okay. I don't know when that happened, but okay.
Yeah.
You know?
I see where you're coming from.
So I believed him, but I was also like, oh, okay. I thought it was just like, she's hot.
Right. And then there's something interesting, a little fun fact that I did not know.
Okay.
There's a scene in this film where Vesper has been kidnapped. And Bond is like, I got to get in my Aston Martin and save her. He's driving to save her, and he like comes over this hill, and she's like on the road. So he like swerves out of the way, and he crashes. But I didn't know that is like a Guinness World Record for most flips by a car in a movie. They flip his Aston Martin like I think it's like 9 times.
Wow.
So that's like I mean, it could have been passed by now. It's been like 15 years, but I thought that was kind of cool. So that's a record right there,
Or at least was a record.
Was
at
a
the
record.
very least.
At the time. So I thought that was cool.
That is very cool. I also have to give big props to this movie for giving Felix Leiter the most to
Felix,
do,
yep, he gets the most in this movie,
which
We
is
love
great
him.
because he's a great character in this one. He's working for the CIA, not the MI6. So he's like the whole different end of it, but they're still working together to take down the Schiffer and
Yeah.
everybody.
I always love the dynamic between like MI6 and the CIA.
Yeah, it's great.
Like they have the same goals, but they're like, I want to do it.
Yeah, I need
not
credit.
you.
Yeah. I thought that was very cool, and Felix to be the one to do it is great. I thought his actor is good. You know, he's there and he doesn't like one up Bond ever, but he feels just like a good foil. You know.
Yeah.
So that was great.
Definitely hard agree. And obviously, we can't talk about this movie without talking
About the CBT.
the cock and ball torture.
Guys, any movie with cock and ball torture is an immediately extra star for me.
It's true. There's a brutal, I mean, it hurts.
Yeah.
There's a brutal cock and ball torture scene in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
It might sound like a joke, but it's not.
No, it's it's ball torture at the very least.
Daniel Craig is naked. He has to sit on a chair that has a big hole in the bottom, so his nuts are hanging down.
Yep.
And Lashif has like this
Heavy rope
that has
thing.
like a big ball on the end or
Yeah.
something that could just be like duct tape wrapped up a bunch, like anything. But he's just spinning it around and then
Flipping it under the chair right into the sack.
into his nuts. And he's like, "Oh yeah, give me some more."
He's like, I have an itch to the
He's
left.
like, I got an itch right there.
And the chief's like, oh, how dare you?
Yeah, great scene.
Yes, it is. It's like close to like the sort of the climax of the stuff with Lashif.
Yeah,
Because obviously Vesper is also taking the other room at that scene. It's like, oh, is Vesper going to die? Like, what's happening?
right.
Big tension, big danger.
And then obviously we find out at the end of the film. Well, you think the film is kind of like coming to a close.
Yeah.
But then it turns out Vesper has betrayed Bond.
Well, yeah.
Or
Because
has
a
she?
dude comes in and fucking shoots Lashif dead. Like, he died.
Right.
And
does
so they
happen.
get out, they get the money. They're like, let's transfer the account. And Vesper's the one who like puts in the account number, and the password is Vesper because he
Aw,
loves her so much.
and that's sweet.
But she transferred it to like different account, and she's using it to like get her boyfriend free or something.
She was doing something sketch,
Yeah.
and Bond, obviously, he's James Bond, he finds out.
Mm-hmm.
So then there's a one last big action set piece at the end of this movie.
Yeah, inside like an old building on the water
In Venice.
in Venice. Yeah.
And the building's like the buoys that like keep the building up are like exploding and the building's sinking and he's killing a bunch of dudes and doing a bunch of cool stuff. Really cool scene. But then Vesper gets like, well, she kind of kills herself.
She does. She does kind of kill
But
herself.
she's like stuck under the water and Bond goes to save her and she's like, no.
Mm-hmm.
And then Bond is like, ugh.
He's got to breathe, so he got to go swim away.
So he gets away.
And Vesper dies.
Rip Vesper.
And Mr. White gets away with the case. So he tracks him down, and he's like, no. And he takes the case back.
Yep, the very end. Bond. James Bond.
Yeah, and you see that a lot. You see that gif because obviously it's him saying his name, but it's literally like the last shot of the movie.
Yeah,
So
literally
it's
the end.
kinda
He's got his
interesting.
machine gun. He's
Yeah.
like, Bond.
I would definitely say that after Lashifra dies and everything, and that whole Vesper betrayal part was like the weakest part of the movie for me.
Yeah,
just
the very end, it falls
really-
off a little bit.
found it hard to like stay invested in that whole section.
I
Again,
agree.
just because the Vesper stuff, I wasn't that sold on it, and I was honestly sort of like unclear as to who everybody was exactly.
It's a little confusing.
know?
No, I'm with you.
So it definitely lost me a little bit in there. And when you compare it to the bombastic opening, that's super clear and like
Oh,
fun.
yeah, so good.
It just loses a little bit of steam. But I mean, small complaint. It's fantastic.
Yeah, Casino Royale, really great movie.
Mm-hmm. Really, really great.
Um,
And it's a new Bond. He's a little bit more serious, a little grittier. You know,
yeah, which
people didn't like.
I don't get it. But
So
I'm
they
young.
went even harder in the next one.
In the second one, they were like, let's dial it up.
Yeah,
Let's
do
dial it up.
even
Let's
more.
dial it up. And the first action sequence in Quantum of Solace, directed by Mark Forster, is you have no idea what's happening. They went from, you want to know what's happening? No. Mm-mm.
Never.
I actually couldn't tell what was happening at all ever in the first scene. I know it's like a car chase.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. What happened? Do you know what happened? I don't.
He loses the car door.
Okay.
That's it.
It's actually terrible.
It's bad.
Like, I don't know who cut this movie. Well, I do know. I wrote a review about it.
Well,
I don't
here's the
remember their
thing.
names.
The review that I wrote was just about the idea that this whole film just feels like they took the idea of form and just placed its importance way over function. Because obviously they want to have the editing and the feel of the film reflect Bond's like mental state. He's angry and he's kind of scatterbrained, just like looking for whoever. So the editing's like quick, cut. Because Bond's like, gotta go. I'm so angry. And it's just like, yeah, in theory, that form is cool, but in function, how that actually makes the film makes it look bad.
It looks terrible.
So they just made that stylistic decision right away, and it did not pay off.
Yeah, and you can tell that they're
At
still
all.
doing like they're doing cool stunts, and like
Yeah.
it would be cool, but like you can't see any of it.
There was one where he like beats up a bunch of dudes in the elevator, and I was like, man, that would have been really cool if I could have seen it. You know?
Yes, literally, bro.
So there's a lot of that.
And I'll be honest, I don't even remember like the plot of this movie.
The plot of this one is you got Mr. Green, I think, and it's Mathieu Amalric.
Terrible.
What?
I think he's an alright actor, but it's just the villain.
villain,
in this
yeah,
movie, he
yeah.
sucks.
But no, I like the actor, but the villain is not good. He owns this like company, and basically his plan. Here's the thing: the plan is actually very, very spy movie feeling, but like the movie's so like action and fast paced, whatever, that it's
Yeah.
like just a disconnect. Because I would expect the plot. The plot is that he is like having these dictators take over these lands in exchange for like he gets a swath of land. He's like, give me this patch of land, and we'll help you like take over the country, basically. You know? And they're like, oh, there's no oil or shit there. It's like, whatever. And he's like, okay, that's fine, but whatever I find, it's mine. And basically, you're finding out that he's taking over all the major water supplies of the area. So it's basically, follow my listen, obey me, or else your whole country's gonna die because there's no water. you
Right.
know?
Yeah.
Which is a very like high level. It's the kind of plot that I would expect to see in a spy movie where there's no killing.
Right.
It's all just like listening in and doing things. But this is like motorcycle chases and
Lots
machine
of
gun
killing.
blasting and stuff.
in plain dogfights.
Yeah, and dictator assassinating. So it's like a weird disconnect there. I will say my least favorite Bond girl as well.
She's uninteresting.
Just does not do it for me on any level.
Yeah.
Does not work.
Honestly, I don't know what they were doing with this one. This movie's bad.
I liked Fields when she was in the movie for like 5 seconds.
Fields.
She was the redhead, and she was like, I'm here to take you home, Mr. Bond. You're not allowed to be here. And then he's like, have sex with me. And she's like, okay.
Is that the one that gets killed with the
oil.
The oil.
That's a very classic kind of Bondy thing.
Yeah,
It's like,
she was cool.
Yeah, I liked her for the 5 minutes she was in the movie.
Yeah, she's barely in the movie.
She
and
trips
then
the one
gets
guy down the
murdered.
stairs.
Yep,
She's
that
like,
was good.
sorry.
Yeah, she was good.
Yep.
But then she gets killed.
Mm-hmm.
Happens a lot to people that have sex with James Bond. They
Yeah,
die
a lot.
99% of the time.
Yeah. Mostly because of the AIDS, but also because of just like dangerous
Right.
job.
Also, here's my thing. These movies are all connected. I can't believe I'm getting into this already. Obviously,
Okay.
in the first movie, James Bond gets his balls annihilated. I
Yeah.
mean, if you watch the scene, he gets hit full force.
At least 4 times?
I think it's like gotta be more.
Yeah.
I mean, he gets smoked. There's no way that his balls will ever look the same,
Well,
will
no,
ever be the same.
but you're underestimating the MI6 training that they go through, They probably go through like ball retention training. He probably had like techniques to like suck his balls up into his body so that they weren't
You know
hanging
what?
down,
I can buy that.
Yeah.
But let's say he doesn't have it. I'm just like, he's still doing it.
Maybe his dick is so big that it like cushioned the balls, and it acts as like
I'm
a
just
protective
saying
layer.
there would have to be a problem. There's got to be a problem somewhere.
If he had an erection, his balls would be more likely to be like hung up closer to his groin. Would that make the pain like worse or better?
I don't know.
I don't know either. We'd need a scientist on to answer
I don't
these
know.
questions for us.
But I'm just saying, he fucks a lot in the next 4 movies.
Yeah.
And I'm just wondering how his balls are. Are they okay?
They're probably good. They're probably huge, and the women are like, "Oh my god."
He's like, yeah, they're swelled up pretty good. I know.
Because I know
Anyway,
women care about big balls. That's like a big thing.
huge thing.
They're always talking about it.
Yeah. There's one thing that I do like about this movie. It's the final action sequence in like I don't even know what it is. Like that building they're
Plant
in.
or whatever. Yeah.
When like everything's like it's blowing up like kind of like section by section.
Yeah.
That's a cool sequence, I think. And it's actually not like totally unintelligible.
Yeah, I did. I mean, I didn't like the fight between him and the French guy, but
Yeah, but it's
whatever.
the best it can get, but it's still like
Yeah.
not better than anything in any of the other movies. But it's the best in the movie.
it just kind of felt kind of stupid because I was like, it's literally just like a weird French guy with an axe. It's like, just take him out. Like, he's like a normal person. He's not like a trained
Yeah.
thing, so it was always just weird to me.
And then he saves the girl.
Yep. At first he thinks they're going to like kill themselves. And then
Yeah.
he's like, wait, I've got a plan.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Quantum of Solace, not a good movie.
Yeah, it's misstep.
Yeah. So then they took a 4-year break. And Sam Mendes was like, the return of Christ. He comes in, and he makes Skyfall. Awesome fucking movie.
Yeah.
Great movie. A lot of people say the best Bond film ever.
Ever. Wow.
Ever.
Yeah.
A lot of people I've seen. Skyfall is great. That's some of the great things. Adele. She has the song.
Right away, winning people
Fucking
over.
awesome. Skyfall by Adele. Great song.
Mm-hmm.
It's got Roger Deakins behind the camera. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, come on.
Are you kidding me? It's got some awesome action set pieces. It's got Javier Bardem playing the villain, the best villain in the series.
Yes, for sure.
He's
the best
awesome.
villain.
He's fantastic even. We got Q coming in for the first time. Boom.
Money
We got
Penny.
Moneypenny coming in for the first time. Boom. M dies.
Fuck.
What?
Wow,
OMG.
Judi Dench. Oh no.
Holy guacamole.
I think really why this movie was probably such a smash hit is that I assume fans of the Casino Royale style still like Skyfall, and I assume people of the old style like Skyfall because it brought all that shit back.
Right.
So it was just winning both sides. It was getting both people on board, you know?
It is a huge W.
And I will say I much prefer James Bond with Q, with Moneypenny, you know, and
Oh,
M.
yeah.
Like, I just like that. It's MI6. It's like the brand, you know? It's like he's not just a rogue agent, even though he is in this movie a lot. But,
Yeah.
like, you know, MI6 is like a thing. I like having those bits of it in the Bond films. I think they help a lot.
Right.
Another big positive for this film, Moneypenny is in it.
Naomi Harris.
It's the only movie where she's really in it.
It really sucks. That's one thing that the next 2 movies kind of suck at is Moneypenny is like pretty important in this movie, and then the next 2 she's like nothing.
She like occasionally chauffeurs people.
Yeah, she'll just be like on the side of a scene, just kind of chilling. She'll be like, "Hey, Bond, remember me? Remember when I shaved your face?"
Right? That's great. Anyway, what's the plot?
The plot. James Bond.
I mean, you could
is-
pull up that. Never mind. You never pull up the IMDb's anymore.
Oh, here. We can pull up the IMDb right now.
Yeah, sure.
Let's do it.
Anyway, James Bond is chasing the guy at the beginning of this one. This is another chase that's I mean, I won't say it's Casino Royale good because it's not.
good though.
But it is good.
It is good. Very intense. This one's a
Very,
little
very
more
intense. Because it's a 3-layered chase, kind of, because you have Moneypenny, who at this point is a field agent, working with Bond, chasing after this guy. And so basically it's James Bond's actually chasing him, and then Moneypenny's like trying to catch up for most of the chase.
Right,
you
yeah.
know? So she's going alternate ways, trying to like cut off and do stuff like that.
And M's like, "Get him.
Yeah.
Get him."
Get him. And at the end of the scene, it goes onto a train. He like hooks a crane and like smashes the
he
top
like
of it.
gets in the I don't know what those things are called. He gets in one.
Shoveler. I don't know.
It's not a bulldozer. It's the other one.
Yeah, it's the one with the crane, that scooper.
The scooper.
I need to watch more Bob the Builder. He would know.
Literally, he would know.
Can we build it?
And he drives around and he fights the dude, and then Moneypenny's like, "I got a shot. I got it." And she's like, "Take the shot." She's
It's
like,
not
"I
clean.
can't.
It's not
I might
clean."
hit James 007. She's like, "Just take the bloody shot." Mm-hmm. And then she does it. Boom. Shoots James. Oh my gosh.
Shoots James Bond.
He falls off.
falls off in the water.
Falls into the water. You're like, oh my god.
If he was
he's
any
dead.
regular human, 100% dead. Like, not even close.
But this is Bond.
This
James
is
Bond.
James Bond.
Anyway, do
The
you want
bad
me to
guy-
read this?
Yeah, sure.
James Bond's loyalty to M is tested when her past comes back to haunt her. When MI6 comes under attack, 007 must track down and destroy the threat, no matter how personal the cost.
So basically, he gets rescued by some hot ladies at like a village. He just kind of recovers, just normally. And everyone at MI6 just assumes, Bond is dead. He was killed in line of duty. They're writing his obituary. They sell his flat and all his shit. Like, all right, James Bond is done.
I'm back, bitches.
And he comes back to M's house and he's like, "How you doing, M?
What's up?
What's up?"
What's up?
And she's like, "Wow, it took you long enough, idiot,
Stupid head.
stupid head."
I will say there's a cool scene before he comes back where he's like just chilling, doing whatever. And he's playing this like bar game where
Oh, it's got the scorpion.
there's like a scorpion on his wrist and he has to like drink without like the scorpion like getting him, I guess.
Yeah.
And he does it. And it's just kind of cool.
And it is because it's a small scorpion, which means it is very deadly. Because the smaller the scorpion, the deadlier the venom. So if that
Yes.
thing stung him, he'd be done. Unless somebody sucked it out real quick.
I'm sure somebody would.
I'm sure everybody at that bar would be like, "No, me, James, let me suck the venom out." Because he just has that power over people.
Does.
And yeah, so he comes back and it's like, "Listen, there's this somebody's hacking MI6. They want M to think on her sins. They're after M. They're
What
after
could
Judi
that
Dench."
mean?
They're like, "What?" You find out it's this creepazoid named Silva, who's played by Javier Bardem. And who's he? Well, he's an old agent. What?
OMG, he knows who M is.
Which honestly is part of this. What makes him one of the best villains because it's immediately you understand everything about him.
Right.
He's an old agent. I get it. It's awesome. You learn obviously a little bit more about his backstory. The main thing really being what really fucked him up, which was when he was on a failed mission. He was being like tortured for like days. And they have cyanide capsules that they can take so they can die and not give any information. And he takes his, but it just burns half of his
didn't kill
face
him.
from the inside, and he lives. And so he's just got this really kind of horrifying, like disfigured
So
face.
that I've always been really interested in that scene because you don't see it ever until the one scene where he's captured and he like takes out his like thing he has inside of his mouth. And like you see how his teeth are all fucked up, but then you see his face like sink in and his eye starts like kind of like popping out. I'm really interested in how they did that. If that's like all makeup or if it's part CG.
I'm guessing that's CG. Like
But it looks so good.
it does look really good because it's just like subtle changes. It's nothing like too huge.
It's really cool.
But it's very gross.
It's nasty business.
That's of course after he gets captured because James Bond needs to get back to the service, and they're like, "All right, James Bond, let's put you to the test because you were dead. We kind of need you run you through the ringer again." So he's got to take like endurance tests. He's got to do a marksmanship test. But luckily he passes with flying colors, and M's like, "Okay, you're good to go.
Yeah, dude.
Go get Silva." And Silva meets up with him, tracks him down. He's like, "M's been lying to you, James," and he rubs his thighs. He's like, "We could have a first time together. It'd be a lot of fun." And then he's like,
What makes you think it's my first
"What
time?
makes you think?" He's like, "Oh, Mr. Bond." I honestly love that scene.
It is a good
It's
scene.
so good because it's Silva trying to just do anything to kind of put Bond off of his balance,
Yeah.
Obviously, Bond's not putting up with that. And I mean, if you're a spy, like, are you gonna find a spy who's gonna break his cover, being like, "Ew, gay"? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Bond's probably done stuff. I remember people talking about that, being like, Daniel Craig's Bond is bisexual. I was like, well, sure, if you want to read it that way, fine. I just thought that was a really good scene.
It is a good scene.
And they he's like, "Listen, M forged all your results. You failed marksmanship. You are seen as psychologically inept." It's like you're all
probably
types of
right.
fucked up. And he's like, "Oh, that sucks. So let's do it. Let's do a real test." And they got 2 pistols, and he's got to shoot. The competition is to shoot the
like ancient pistols.
ancient pistols, yeah, like pistoleros. They got to shoot the shot glass off a woman's head. And if they do it, then he wins, So Bond does it, he misses. And that's sad.
And then he's like, my turn. He just shoots her in
He
the
just shoots
chest.
her, and the shot glass falls off, so he wins. But luckily, the idiots, when they have guns, they love to like get really close to Bond when they shoot their guns at them. So somebody like walks right up to him with a gun, and he just
game over at that
fucks him
point.
up, and he shoots everybody.
Boom.
And then Silva's like, you got me. Takes him to prison. He gets to confront M and be like, look what you did to me. Here's the thing, guys. That was the plan all along.
It was all part of Silva's plan.
Of course, Silva's the best. He's so smart.
He's goated.
So he escapes through like some fucking tunnels underneath the MI6.
Yep.
And he escapes into the subway and stuff, which one of my favorite things about this chase is that you have Q looking on all the cameras to be like, where is he? Where is he?
Mm-hmm.
And you can see him on the cameras.
Yeah.
Like, he's there. If you pay attention, you could be like, oh, he's there. Q, look. He's
Q!
there. You know, because especially the last shot where he gets on the subway and he, like, doesn't know where to get on the subway. You can see the police officer, like, with his hat down.
Yeah.
And you can see, oh, that's Silver right there. And then, like, a minute later, he'll be like, get on the train, Bond.
Bond, get on the train.
And Bond has to jump on the back. And he's like, open the door. And the lady's just like,
She's like, She opens it, and
Yeah.
he's like, thanks.
And at this point, M has to go up into the front of the court of whatever to basically justify the existence of MI6, to say, like, they're saying you're outdated. You know, there's no reason
She's
for
like,
real
"We can-
field
it's-
agents.
No, we need them.
Yeah. And Javier Bardem's like, this is a perfect time to go in and shoot her in the face and kind of prove her right in the process. You
Yeah.
know, prove her exactly right. It turns a big thing. Bond catches up. They protect each other. And
Ray Fiennes takes a bullet.
Ray Fiennes takes a bullet for M. And
does.
Tanner gets her to safety.
Good job, Ray Fiennes. Voldemort, you didn't think that he would have this sort of character arc, but
No.
he
He
shows
Is
up.
this pre-Harry Potter?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure Harry Potter, no, it can't be. Harry Potter is, like, old.
Okay.
Takes place, like, past.
So this is after Harry Potter. Interesting
Definitely.
thing for Voldemort to do.
Well, when he turns to dust in the end, he rematerializes.
As Mallory.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense. Anyway.
And he has a nose now.
Basically, Bond and Judi Dench have to go to Skyfall.
Where's
for
that?
protection. Skyfall's in
Skyfall. Duh.
Scotland.
Scotland.
So they're in Scotland. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Great. Looks wonderful.
Yeah.
Beautiful house.
I'd also say that I'm pretty sure this is, we talked about like Roger Deakins and stuff. This is like the only Bond movie that was shot on digital cameras instead of like film. And so what Roger Deakins was able to do with that throughout the entire film, it's just like, oh,
Roger Deakins is a huge advocate for digital, which I think is cool.
that is very, very cool. So yeah, they got to go to Skyfall. It's this big manor that he grew up in. And there's this guy here who was like their butler or something. What was he?
Hey, he's some
A
sort
family
of
friend.
significance to Bond,
Yeah.
like, somehow.
And they kind of just booby trap the house. They only got like one gun, you know.
They make it work, though.
They booby trap the house. Silva comes with all of his guys in a helicopter, and they just take him out. So like you have light switches that are attached to like explosives that like send out like nail shrapnel and shit like that. And Judi Dench is like flicking them, you know, taking people out. Got the guy with the hunting rifle. Just a bunch of really, really cool scenes. Bond ends up like using a bunch of propane tanks to like blow up the whole manor and take out like most of the guys.
Yeah.
Very, very cool.
It's on fire big time by the end.
But Judi Dench kind of catches some shrapnel.
She gets hit.
So they hide in this like little cathedral away a little bit away from the manor, and Silva catches up with them. He's like, "I finally got you, bitch." He walks up to her and is like, "One bullet, and we'll go out. You look at your creation, you know,
both
and
of
take
us."
care of it. One bullet, take out both of us." Last second, James Bond comes in, end of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, and just throws the knife right into his back.
And he's like,
Yeah. And he's like, you, and dies. And then Bond runs over to Judi Dench. He's like, M. And she's like, oh, I trusted you. I at least I made one right choice, and it was like in trusting you. And then she fucking dies.
oh, what?
M dies. That's a huge deal.
What?
That's like a huge deal.
Holy nuts.
M dies. That's a big deal.
She dead.
Yeah, and obviously in this movie they set up new M.
Ray
Right.
Fiennes.
So it works out in the end.
It does.
Moneypenny ends up introducing herself. You find out that she is Moneypenny at the end of the film. So she gets out of the field. Now she's just a desk jockey.
Yep. She
And
used
obviously-
to no longer be important in their other films.
for the rest of the movies. And obviously Q was introduced. And he just gave him like a radio in this one, and that's like it. But he was introduced in this one, which is very cool. And I actually like their intro scene because Q's like this 20-year-old.
Yeah.
And he's like, aren't you a little young? Whatever.
Yeah.
Um,
When they're at the art place.
yeah, great movie.
Skyfall, great movie.
Like I said, it just captures both old Bond fans, new Bond fans, a happy medium, and really captures it.
It's good stuff. And then Sam Mendes comes back again
In 2015, just 3 years later.
to make the next Bond film, Spectre, which is not good.
Spectre has like good parts.
It does have good parts. The opening sequence,
And the
very great.
The explosion.
The song, love the song.
Song's good.
The hentai in the title sequence is cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
The tentacle
Hentai.
obviously, very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Very hip.
Yeah,
with the kids
very
these
with the
days. The villain, I don't even know his name. What's his name? Blofeld.
Blofeld.
Played
Ernst
by
something Blofeld.
the great Christoph Waltz. Great
Yeah.
actor.
Mhm.
Kind of a strange villain.
Weird villain. He's Bond's adoptive brother that like was for whatever reason really fixated on causing him a lot of pain.
Yeah. So he's like, this is where obviously Spectre's like introduced like the group, and he's like, yeah, it was me the whole time. I'm the reason for all your suffering.
Well, first he goes to find, because the beginning of this he goes to find Mr. White, and Mr. White's like, he's like, where's Spectre, you know, and he's like, why would I tell you? He's like, oh, you are like, you tried to kill me like a million times. He's like, here's a gun, there, will you tell me? And he's basically like, L'Americain. He's like, what? Find my daughter, she'll know. Bye bye. And he shoots himself. It's like,
Yep.
oh, okay. And he goes find his daughter,
Madeline Swan.
Madeleine Swan. She's like a doctor, psychiatrist at this place.
Missy.
Merci beaucoup. And finds her, and he's like, hey, what's American? She's like, get away from me, you creep. I hate you. I would never fall in love with you, ever.
That would never happen.
That would never happen, even in a movie and a half. That would never happen. Spoilers.
What?
L'American isn't a person. L'American is a place.
No.
They go there, they find all the circuits. They go there, and she's like, I hate guns because when I was a kid, someone came to meet my father, but he didn't know there was a gun under the sink next to the bleach. And that'll tie in later.
Ooh. What?
She tells that little story. And, yeah, eventually they just kind of, they're being chased by, like, nebulous bad guys, you know, that, like, don't really have characters. They're just, like, bad guys, so it's not, like, too whatever. Because at the end, he goes to this facility, and Blofeld just straight up introduces himself. He's like, hey, I'm Blofeld.
He's, what's up?
What's up?
And then that's also the scene where he shows like the video clip of her father.
Yeah, and killing
Like,
himself.
and he's like,
"Oh."
turn this off.
He gets
He's
very
like, no.
angry.
He's like, look at the TV, Madeline.
Yeah, and Blofeld's
like,
basically
"Turn it
like,
off!"
you really think Vesper and every other girl that you were with was like an accident? He's like, no, I literally caused every bad thing that's ever happened to you to happen.
Yeah.
Because the Chief was working for him, Mr. Green was working for him, Silva was working for him. They're all working for Blofeld. It's a big deal guy.
Yeah. And then interesting torture scene in this film.
This one is one of the ones that gets way... We haven't even talked about like the B plot that ties in at the end. It gets way more like crazy Bond, like sci-fi gadgets and stuff, because this is the one that introduces Smart Blood.
Right, yes.
Where it's like they can always track his vitals and wherever he is because of like nanobots that he puts in his blood. So they do that, and then it's like, oh, deactivate the nanobots. They're like looking at him. And over on MI6 side, basically they're trying to institute these like this Big Brother-esque like surveillance for everybody all the time, like know the location and what everyone is doing all the time. And it's like, we don't need MI6 anymore because we'll just be able to see everything.
Right, yeah. We don't need real agents anymore.
Yeah. And so that's like an internal struggle, which in the end ties in because he was like Blofeld's little lackey.
Yeah.
That you learn at the end. And there's a scene that, you know, he's confronting that dude. C is his name that they give him. And M's like, or C's like, I guess now we know what M stands for. Moronic.
Oh, bro,
I guess I know what C stands for. Careless.
I thought he was going to say cunt.
Oh, cunt.
And I was like, say it.
And then, like,
say
blow him
say
up.
It. Yes. And I was like, that would have been perfect. But then,
And
he
then
said careless. And I
The
was
next
like,
movie, we find out what Q stands for.
oh. Very funny.
Yeah, it's very, very funny. And yeah, so that guy, literally, he just like trips off a balcony when they're fighting and falls to his death. And then
Idiot.
Moneypenny shows up and is like, I'm in the movie.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So dumb.
And then they blow up the big facility.
Yeah, but there's that cool sequence before they blow up.
Oh, right.
MI6 because I'm reading in Skyfall, MI6 gets like terrorist attacked.
Oh yeah, yeah. Judi Dench's office.
So they
gets
like
blown up.
moved to like a new building, and that building's gonna get torn down. But before they blow it up, there's like a cool sequence where James Bond is like running through there, and he finds Christoph Waltz, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna blow this building up in about
Yeah, there's like a big
5 minutes.
plexiglass thing there.
And your precious Madeline is here, but you can either choose to leave or you could try to save her and die together.
Yeah.
Hmm,
That's what
okay,
he's
bye."
like.
And then he
Yeah.
leaves.
That's what he's just like,
And he's got a
Well-
cool scar now.
Yeah, he's got a cool scar, and I mean, it kind of looks like Sheaf,
Yeah.
you know.
Obviously, though, James Bond is like, I'm picking option 3, where I save her
Where
and get
I
out.
use a net. That's not a person named Net. That is like a fishing
Yeah.
net.
He's like, "Do you trust me?" And she's like,
It's just like Aladdin.
I'll be honest, don't really remember a lot.
Aladdin is, do you trust me? And he jumps off the edge, and the flying carpet catches him,
Oh, nice.
or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
It's just like that.
You
And
get caught.
The net catches him, and it's like, oh, let's go on this boat and let's go kill Blofeld. And he's in a helicopter, and they make him crash. He falls down. He's just like crawling away.
Yeah, his legs hurt pretty bad.
And James Bond just walks up to him, and he's like, "Do it, Mr. Bond. End it right here."
There's I wanted to note, there's a really awesome shot in this film. This film, shot by Hoyte, I can't remember his last name, but he did like Dunkirk. Great. Where it's like the helicopter, they're on like the bridge. The helicopter is like here, and it's like on fire, and it's like illuminating the scene. And there's like this cool like silhouette of Bond pointing the gun at Blofeld.
Yeah.
And then in like even farther back, you see like Moneypenny and like MI6.
And then on the other side,
Like, and then
is
in the
Madeleine.
foreground is
Yeah.
Madeline like standing there like looking. I don't know. It's just like a really
It is,
cool.
yeah.
I was like, wow, it looks really
And
great.
they do it from both angles too. I think
Yeah.
they even flip it.
It's really cool. But then Bond is like, you know what? I'm not gonna kill you.
Yeah, I'm done killing everybody for fun.
Yeah. So what?
I'm gonna send you to prison.
Yeah.
And he goes to prison.
And he does that.
And he makes out with Madeleine.
He's like,
Yeah.
Madeline, I love you.
And she's like, "Let me show you how the French kiss." And she tongues him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. That's verbatim. That happens.
Yeah,
That's in the
exactly.
movie.
That's yep.
She says that. And then that's it, right?
Yeah, it ends. Right.
Yeah, Inspector. It does have its moments
Because
but
yeah,
it's-
it literally ends with Bond and Madeleine get in the car and they drive off.
right. Yeah.
Which, if this was the end of Daniel Craig's Bond shit,
Bad movie for the ending.
bad movie for the ending. Skyfall would have been a better movie for the ending, because it would. At the end of Skyfall, he's like, "I'm back, baby." So you could just
I'm back, baby.
So you could just insinuate the rest of like, oh, then he had a bunch more adventures, you
Right.
know. But it's like this was his last big thing, and a Spectre would kind of just be like, oh,
Right.
all right.
But I will say I'm glad that neither of them were the last film,
Yes.
because the last film, which we're about to talk about, No Time to Die,
Which you have a hot take on.
from Kari Joji Fukunaga. I have a hot take.
Yeah.
It is a hot take.
It is a hot take.
Actually. Which I'm,
2021, brand new, guys.
I'm surprised. I loved this movie. I thought it was fantastic. And it seems like most people think it's good.
I would
But-
say most people share my opinion. It's easily third place.
But I might have to argue that later.
Okay. Why
But-
later? Why not right now?
Well, because I figured we'd argue when we rank them, not when we
Oh, okay, sure.
figured we'd talk about the movie for a little bit first. So in this film, Bond and Madeline, they're in love. They're so cute.
They're just having adventures together.
They're in wherever they are. I can't remember. They're
Yeah.
in some city far away from America or London.
Some kind of coastal looking town.
It's nice, very nice.
They're
And
doing a
he's like-
festival where they're burning things that you want to forget and leave behind. You write it down
Yeah.
and then you burn it and you set it in the air.
And he's like, I want to forget Vesper. Well, you know.
And she wants to forget L'Homme Masqué.
Yeah. And he's like, I'm going to go to her grave. He's like, her grave is here. And she's like, okay. So they leave. They had sex a bunch. He
Like a
leaves.
bunch. Like a lot.
Yeah.
Like a lot.
He goes to the grave and he's like, Vesper, and then he looks. There's a Spectre symbol right there. OMG.
What?
Beep, beep, beep.
Blows up. The Grey blows up on her.
Huge
Skeleton
fucking
flies
explosion.
out, and and it's just like the head lands in his lap, and he goes, ah,
Because Vesper, I love you.
Yeah, exactly.
He gives her a kiss.
Mhm.
Also, we're just gonna talk about like the whole movie here. So like gigantic spoilers.
Yeah, you know
if
how it
haven't-
is.
I know this movie just came out, so a lot of people probably haven't seen it yet.
Then stop listening.
You need to stop listening and just like skip ahead.
Yeah.
Anyway, boom, explosion. Holy shit. Cool action sequence starts. Bond being chased. He gets back with Madeline. He's like, you fucking bitch.
Yeah. How dare
How could you betray me? How did they know that I was here? He's really angry.
And she's
And
like,
she's
I
like,
don't know what you're talking about. I did nothing. Yeah. Then he's like, get on this fucking train. She's like, when will I see you again? You won't.
He's like, never, bitch. Boom.
Never, hoe.
One thing I want to say about this action sequence, though, it's very good. Very good action sequence. I very much enjoyed the sound design in this film. I don't know if it was just the enhanced theater experience that we experienced, but when they're in the car and they're like completely surrounded and they're just like lighting them up,
Boom, boom.
the sound of like the bullet, like when you're inside the car, the sound of like the bullets hitting the glass, I don't know, it sounded really cool inside the theater.
I would say also, like, if you've been watching all the trailers are seriously like 5% of the movie.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
There's so much going on that they don't show.
And so much going on that we forgot the actual beginning of the movie.
Oh, right. That's true.
The actual beginning of the movie
Is
we
a
see
flashback.
A flashback with
Yeah.
a masked character who we will later find out is Rami Malek. He is walking in the snow, and you're like, okay. And he walks up to this house where there's this little girl and her mom, and they're
And the mom's like drinking, and she's like,
the
"You're
mom's
such
not a
fucking
great person.
bitch."
Yeah, she's like, shut up. And the kid's like, Mom, someone's here. And she's like, yeah,
Get away.
leave me alone.
Shoots
Rami
her
shows
dead.
up, fucking blasts her.
Yeah. Little
Kid's
girl runs
running
away,
away.
runs to the sink in the kitchen, and grabs a gun that's next to the bleach. Yeah, and where have I heard that before?
She's hiding. He walks up the stairs. He's looking. Don't see anything. Her Tamagotchi goes off.
Yep, exactly.
He's like, oh, wait.
Feed me. Feed me.
She comes up, fucking blasts him.
Bam, 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 bam. He falls off the balcony, fucking dead.
You're like, nice.
She starts dragging his body out in the snow.
I don't
to
know what her
somewhere.
plan is.
Right, exactly. I'm like, where are you putting him?
She's trying her best. Oh, my God, he's alive.
Yeah.
And she starts running away. They're on like frozen lake.
A lake, yeah.
She falls in and she's drowning. And Rami's like standing there looking at her, and he's like, I'm gonna
You
let
just
her die.
spoiled this Rami.
I said that.
Yeah, I know, but she still doesn't know.
Right, she doesn't know. And he's like, I'm gonna let her die. But then he's like, just kidding.
And he goes,
shoots
shoots the bullets very close to her face.
Very close.
Almost like it was an accident. And when he saw that she didn't die, he was just embarrassed. So he's like, I guess I should just pull her out of the ice, because like I fucking missed from like 2 feet away.
So he pulls her out, saves her life. Awesome.
And then, like, who knows what happens directly after that?
Right.
It's just like something.
We find out the little girl's Madeline. Cool. Then that scene we just talked about happens.
Yeah. Then it's a 5-year time skip.
Boom.
5
years?
Yeah,
What?
holy shit. That's
Boom.
crazy.
James Bond is just kind of living life. He's retired.
Yeah.
Doesn't do anything anymore. He's just vibing. Cue my man Felix. What? Felix comes back.
Felix
He's like, yo, what's up? I got my new dude here, Ash Ketchum.
Ketchum.
He's like, his goal is to catch them all.
He's very smiley.
He's like, yo, so listen, you trying to like team up a little bit real quick for like, do a little CIA action?
No.
He's like, I don't think so.
I don't think so, Felix. It's nice seeing you.
He leaves.
Felix.
Boom. Who shows up? 007. What?
007, her name is Nomi.
Hold on. 007?
Oh, you thought they'd retire, did you?
The 007. You think wrong, mate.
I'm 007. It's just a number.
It's just a number.
Is it? Yeah. Oh, really? I think so. What time is it?
Bollocks.
It's clobbering time.
Boom, we meet the new 007. He's like, oh, okay. She's like, you get in my way, I'll shoot you in the knee.
The one that works.
Yeah. Good stuff. Turns out he's like, you know what? Maybe I will work with Felix.
Because she calls does he call M and is like, wow, your new 007 sucks, by the way. Right? I
Oh,
remember
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah,
happened.
yeah.
He's like, she's the worst. I hate her. She sucks. And he's like, hey, everyone kind of just thought you were dead, dude. So what do you expect? You know,
Yeah.
I can't just wait for you forever.
Um,
Basically, he gets roped into it, you know?
yeah. So he's like, okay. So they have a plan. They go to Cuba,
Cuba.
where
The best part of the movie happens.
we meet the fucking stunning Ana de Armas in this scene. She is fucking unreal in this movie. She's electric.
Seriously steals that part of the film.
She is so great.
So good.
It is unbelievable. And then you just have this awesome action sequence where the both of them are just like saying funny quips. Fucking
And
shooting
Ana de Armas
dudes.
plays like this kind of nervous, bubbly, quirky like girl. She's like said she was trained for like 3 weeks.
Yeah,
she's
she's like a new
it's my
agent.
first mission, you know?
Yeah, and she's like fucking murdering dudes. Like,
fucking crazy. Guys, you
Awesome.
really have to see it to believe it. I hope that
It is
those
awesome.
scenes just get released on YouTube so even people who don't care about the movie
I know.
can watch those because she's awesome.
because it's important. Because that's the only scene in the movie that she's in.
That scene ends and she's like, next time you come, stay longer.
Ciao. And that's it.
Out forever.
And you're like, what? I was like, okay, cool. She'll come back later.
I think
never
that
comes
probably
back.
happens at like maybe the 40, 50 minute mark, her scene.
Yeah,
You know?
it's great and it's awesome.
And it's a 2 hour, 40-minute long movie.
right.
So it's like, oh, maybe she'll come back.
No, she never comes back. But her scene is absolutely awesome. But an important thing that happens in that scene is we're introduced to the new technology, the bio
Yeah,
weapon.
So this was a Spectre meeting where it's every member of Spectre was there except Blofeld because he's
Right.
in prison. But he actually has this like weird little bionic eye that he can control from his cell, and he can just like do everything like normal.
Right.
So he had this plan to kill Bond because there was this bio-terrorist weapon.
It targets DNA.
It's nanobots
Yeah.
that target DNA and will kill anybody with specific DNA. But the one Russian scientist re-engineered it so that it would kill all the Spectre people instead because he's working for somebody else entirely.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll find out who later.
So instead of Bond dying, all the Spectre people die.
All Spectre's eliminated except Blofeld because he's not
right.
actually there.
He's in what's it called?
And basically the stuff works that it's like it's them and the dead bodies are also still because it's just nanobots, so the nanobots are still just like living there, you know.
Right.
That even if it's like you're closely enough related, like your family would also die from that because it's
Right,
like
if
just
they
the
were
DNA is
exposed.
similar enough.
It's pretty rough stuff going on.
Yeah, it seems pretty cool.
What's after that? I'm trying to think.
Is the interrogation?
Right. Yes, they go to fucking MI6.
Yeah.
I was like, what's it
Yeah,
called?
Yeah.
To talk with Blofeld, but who's going to be there because the only person that Blofeld will talk to is Madeline.
His psychiatrist.
But
and
Madeline-
007's like, what? She was a mole. I told you she was working with Spectre. And they were like, hey, we did our research. We didn't find shit. 007.
Yeah, so he's like, oh.
He's like, whatever. Madeline had a new patient come in.
Yeah, she has a talk with the great Remy Malek, who we love very much.
Yeah.
She doesn't know who he is, obviously, but in this
He's
conversation,
not wearing a mask.
he will reveal himself to her, and she's like,
She doesn't. It's kind of like, it's like a Bane situation. She didn't know who he was until he put on the mask.
"Yep,
I would say.
that's it." And he's like, "This is what you're gonna do. You're gonna wear this perfume for me when you go talk to him." And you're like, "Oh,
To
okay."
Blofeld, yeah.
So they go into the room. Ooh, James and Madeline meet up after 5 years.
And he's like, hey, Madeline, what's up? And she's like,
he's like, "Shake my hand," and she's just like, no.
I think not.
Yeah, just like that. They go in. There's this really long scene where Christoph Waltz's Blofeld is like entering, but he's
Yes.
like chained up like this
In
he
a
can't
chair,
move,
and it's
he's,
like coming down
in
a
this
long
moving
hallway.
chair, and it's like going down the hallway, and it just takes forever. And you're just like, okay. And then as he gets closer, Madeline's like, I cannot be here. I have to go. She leaves, and Bond's like, shit, I'm all by myself.
Yeah, I'll take Blofeld on all by my lonesome.
So they're like, okay. And important, Bond grabs, she puts the perfume on like her wrists, like you do.
And when she goes to leave, Bond grabs her by the wrist.
her
Be
by
like,
the
where
wrist.
are you going?
Boom.
Yeah.
That will be important later.
Because the nanobots.
So now
And then
he's got it
follows
on him.
is actually probably like my favorite scene from Blofeld, which happens in this movie.
Yeah, it's really good.
Because it's Christoph Waltz, he's really, really, reserved in this one. Because, I mean, he's literally chained to a chair just sitting there.
Yeah.
So he's very, very reserved. And just saying that, like, this is actually, I think, the best possible outcome. Because he's like, listen, Madeleine didn't have it. That was all me. And you wasted the last 5 years of your life. You could have been with her, but because you decided you couldn't trust anybody, you kind of did it to yourself, huh?
Yeah.
And then Bond's like, I'll fucking kill you.
Yeah, he like snaps.
He literally just grabs him by the neck and he goes, die. And he starts strangling him.
Yeah, and you're like,
It's
whoa.
like, I was like, Bond.
And then he stops himself. He's like, it's okay.
Yeah.
But he
The
had the
nanobots.
nanobots on him. They turn around.
Uh-oh,
Blofeld.
stinky.
He's been killed by the bots of Nano.
Yep. He's done for.
Shit.
But luckily, they're adopted brothers, not real brothers, so Bond's totally safe. Totally cool.
Totally sick.
It's fine. What happens after that? I'm actually unclear specifically what happens. I know she runs away.
Madeline is like, I'm going home.
Yes,
They're
yes.
like, whoa, Madeline didn't actually go home. We checked. So he's like, I know where she's
She
going.
went home.
So he goes to the home we see at the very beginning of the film.
In the middle of the snowy area.
He shows up. He's like, oh, I knew I'd find you here. She's like, what's up, mate?
Mm-hmm.
Q, little tiny girl.
No, just a little tiny girl. Q is not there.
Oh. So cute.
Yeah, it's a little 5-year-old.
She's so cute.
4-year-old.
And she like rolls the slinky down the stairs.
Mhm.
And you're like, oh, look, a kid. And she's like, don't worry. Do not worry. Can you do your French accent?
Do not worry. It is not yours. That's what she says.
Yeah, she's like, it's not yours. And he's like, okay.
But the eyes. Because she has very
She has
bright
crazy blue eyes, just like Daniel Craig.
Yeah, brown hair, blue eyes. Just like Daniel.
Very beautiful.
No.
So he's like, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
They're chilling. He calls up. He's like, yo, what's up, dude?
Mm-hmm.
We're chilling. He's like, don't worry. We got 007
On the case.
chasing Ash or whatever.
Yeah.
Because, oh my
Fucking,
God.
yeah, that happened right after Cuba.
Turns out they get the Russian dude. This is after Cuba. They go to the boat where they're like doing, and we got Felix and Ash, and they're chilling, and the Russian dude and Bond, and they're like, yeah, what's up, cool. And then turns out Ash, bad guy, what, shoots Felix. Felix dies.
It's not like he's dead.
Holy shit, he
Gets away
steals
with
the
the
Russian dude.
scientist.
But good thing James Bond is
lives.
the
He's
goat.
cool.
He lives. Awesome. So now we have 007, the new 007, chasing
After Ash.
Ash.
And
So he's
Bond
like-
was after Madeleine.
Right.
But he's like, they have Ash, the new 007's location, and he's like, I thought she was chasing Ash, not me.
Right. And he's like,
Connects the
shit.
dots.
Boom. They need to get on the run.
Get out.
And then comes maybe my favorite sequence in the series.
Yeah, this was like one of the top sequences for sure, and also proved to be, at least in my memory, it's a very long movie, like the turning point for how much I was enjoying the movie. This was like the peak and also the start of the decline afterwards, you know,
Yeah.
for me. Obviously, you don't share
Not
that,
for
but
me.
Yeah.
We get this awesome, starts off as a chase sequence where he's driving away like through these like shallow like rivers and like things in this beautiful, they're
It's
in Norway.
lightly wooded.
Yeah, beautiful landscapes. They're getting chased by these cars and he's crashing them and like doing all sorts of cool stuff.
And obviously, there's a 4-year-old in the back, so he can't be like too crazy.
Right, yeah, the kid is
Yeah.
there. He drives into the woods, into the forest, and then he like hides the car and he's like, okay, you two need to hide here.
Here's a gun.
Here's a gun, shoot anyone that comes in the door unless it's me.
Right.
And then comes this like cool scene where Bond is like stealth mode, like kind of like hunting these dudes, and this one car crashes and he like takes the, what's it called? It has the hook and the cord,
I'm not sure.
and he pulls it. Anyway,
What's
it's
called?
kind of like the hook and the chain on the front of the car, and he like pulls it around these trees.
Yeah.
And then he like does a whistle, he's like, "Hey, you come here, come over here."
He shoots
And,
his
like-
gun up the air to like bring people.
And then they like hit the line and like flip over, and the whole scene is like covered, like it's like this real green like wooded area, but it has this like
Fog
fog,
going
not
on.
like super dense, but like just enough fog to make it like mysterious. And he's kind of like hiding and like picking them off one by one. Really, really awesome sequence. And then it ends with Ash being an idiot and totally screws up and flips his car over. And Bond is like standing right in front of me. He just kind of like does this like badass like sidestep, and the car flips over, and he's like laying there, and then Bond lets the car fall on him. He's like, "Fuck you, man."
Yeah, he's like, you killed Felix, bitch. He was my brother.
My brother.
Smashes the tree.
He was my bruv.
My bruv, gov. I mean, does that, but while
Great sequence.
all these hijinks, Madeline ran out of bullets.
She did run out of bullets.
And Rami Malek heard the little click, click. He walks in front of the door and he's like, bonsoir, Madeline.
Yeah. So he kind of steals her. Bond's like,
And
shit.
a little girl.
And the girl. Yes, very, very unfortunate. So he's like, damn it. So now he's like, we gotta stop. What?
I'm just thinking of a scene from later.
Okay, well, let's get there.
Let's get there.
So he's like, okay, boom. And they're like, we need to find out where. What's his name? Rami's name. It's got a weird
It was like
name.
Lucifer or something like that. It was Lucifer.
Lucifer.
Saffron. Like it was like literally like Lucifer Saffron.
Yeah. They find out where he is. He's on this island in between like Japan and Asia.
Yeah, he's big weeb energy. He's got like anime. He's got like Oscar Langley hanging up on his wall, poster. But it's seriously like they have the tables that you sit at like on your knees, not like normal tables. It's like Asian themed.
Yeah.
He's got a Zen garden.
He does.
Yeah, it's strange.
Some sort of
Strange
Zen garden.
choice, but whatever.
He's got his whole facility there where he's manufacturing the nanobots for mass use to
We're
kill
talking,
like millions of people.
Yeah, millions upon millions.
It's bad stuff. James Bond and the new 007, Nomi, get there, and they go on a cool little stealth mission, do some cool stuff. They get some info, do some spy stuff. They get the Russian scientist dude, and he's like, you this is a suicide mission. You cannot. And then Bond's like, okay, I'm gonna go upstairs.
Yeah.
Goes upstairs, boom, meets up with Remy. He's like, yo, what's up, dude? Remy's like, gotta put your guns away. James Bond is like, yeah, but I have a secret gun that you don't know about. They have a long conversation, and the whole time Remy has the kid.
What is her name?
Mathilde.
Mathilde is her name.
Which we do find out, by the way, is James Bond's daughter.
Yes, it is.
It actually is his daughter.
But he knew all along. He's like, of course. Look at her.
Right.
Who else would it be? Also, she's really good with guns, and she like does backflips and like shoots double guns all the time. So it's like that's probably his daughter.
Yeah.
This 4-year-old. I will have to say, did you like this scene of this Rami and him across the table?
I did.
I hated this scene.
Oh, you did not like this scene?
I thought this scene was unintentionally hilarious
Oh, okay.
because of the implication. Because what he does is he says something like Mathilde is light as a feather, and he throws up a pillow into the air, and like the 4 guards like laser fire shoot the pillow. So the implication that Rami's gonna throw Mathilde in the air and then shoot. I don't know. Obviously,
that's hilarious.
That's a horrific scene. But could you imagine if they shot and put that in the movie? Like, you fucking psychopaths.
That would be incredible.
So the implication of like, what if that happened, just got to me, and it took away a little bit of the gravitas because I was just like,
I didn't think about that. That's funny though.
It is funny in a very weird way. It's funny.
It gets more intense. James Bond is like, all right, now's my chance. Boom, pulls out his fake gun.
There's a
Shoots all
trap
the
door.
guards.
Rami and Mathilde escape.
They drop
Well,
down.
Mathilde doesn't have a choice, but Rami escapes with Mathilde.
Right. They're walking away. Mathilde bites Rami's hand. Go.
And this is a part that I also kind of bothered me because he was like, "Do you not want my protection?" And she's like, "No."
And he's like, fine, then leave.
Then leave.
And she just runs away.
Just like, okay. And she's like, "Where's my doo-doo?" And that's her
stuff.
bunny.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
So she just hides under a table and she like, snaps a few necks and she does some cool stuff.
Yeah.
There's a whole Mathilde scene where she's like pretending she's a lost little girl and they're like, "Oh, where are you?" And then she just like climbs on top of them and like bites their throats out. It's really cool.
that happens for sure.
Yeah.
Bond then meets up with Madeline. He's like,
"Where's Mathilde?" And then Mathilde comes out and he's like, "I'm right here."
oh, by the way, they rekindled their love for each other.
Yes,
We didn't
they
mention
have.
that. They have rekindled their love. He's like, yeah, listen, like, my bad.
Yeah, I didn't get it. And she's like, "Whatever."
Kiss me.
Before
Like
I
the
get
French.
sick.
Then they're all together. They find the Mathilde, and they're like, "Yay, everything's cool."
And then Nomi's getting really annoyed by the Russian.
Yeah.
So she's like, "What time is it?"
This was the part I need to explain this in depth. They're walking over like the farm where they make the nanobots, which is like this like water river thing but it's not water. It's like death.
liquidy. Yeah,
It's like liquid death. So if you fall in it or like touch it, you just die.
You're dead.
So they're standing like on the catwalk over top of it, and she has him, and she's like, "Do you know what time it is?" And I was like, in my head, I was like, "Bath time," because I was like, that would be funny. Which apparently a lot of people don't think is funny, but I thought it was funny and clever. But instead, she says something that's even worse, in my opinion. She says, "Time to die,"
which is so like weirdly aggressive. I honestly took it. I was like, wow, that's like dark.
and then she just pushes him into the water.
Yeah.
And he dies. And
Bath
she's
time.
like, cool. Bath time. Come on.
I don't know.
Scrub a dub dub.
About like death o'clock.
Death o'clock.
What time is it?
It's 6:30.
Bam. It's 3 o'clock.
Oh man. Anyway,
5 o'clock.
they all group up and they're like, okay. Bond's like, you guys, you take
Mathilde
and
and Madeline know
Madeline.
me and take the boat and go.
And he's like,
I'll
stay
go
here.
open the missile silo doors so Q can send an airstrike and blow up the whole factory.
Because
destroy
otherwise, the missiles would just like not affect the facility. They
Yeah.
need to be able to get in. So then we have an awesome sequence where Bond is like fighting up the stairs to like the control room, and there's just fucking dude after dude coming at him, and he's doing everything he can. He's getting fucking blown up by grenades and stuff. Really cool sequence. But he's James Bond, so he gets it. He gets to the top. He's like, "Yo, what's up?" Q's like, "All right, and now listen up, James. What she need is gonna be real old ancient
I got it."
technology." And then Bond's like, "Yeah, I did it." And he's like, "Oh, okay." Boom, doors open. Bond's like, "All right, let's get out of here. Send those missiles." Boom. Oh my God, he's
Rami
been
Malek
shot
just shoots him in the back like twice
a million
at least.
times. No, not a million times. Gets shot. Boom. He falls into the middle of the water in like the Zen garden. It's a poison garden actually.
Yeah.
But it's very pretty.
Yeah, it is. Just don't touch
And
it.
Rami's like, "Ooh, you thought, bitch." And then they have a fight, and then Daniel Craig brutally breaks his arm. Like it's rough. I was
Rami
like,
Malek
I
gets
felt
the
it.
little glass shards in his face.
Yeah.
As he goes down.
It's yeah, it's nasty.
And then he's like, haha, Mr. Bond.
He's like, "Ooh, look what I did."
I have a secret weapon too. Ha 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 ha.
So he has infected Bond with special nanobots that have the DNA target
encoding
of Madeline and Mathilde.
Yeah.
So Bond will not. He couldn't ever be with them
Yeah.
because obviously
I don't know if the
die.
implication was even touching them. I think it was that even touching them would kill them.
Yeah.
So it's like, and there was a scene earlier where Q's like, once you get these, there's no getting rid of them.
Yeah, because he asks. He's like, "Can I do anything?" He's like, "No, it's over."
Nah, it's definitely over.
Oh, and Rami closed the doors again. So the doors are closed too, and the
Right.
missiles are coming.
Yeah.
So he has to reopen them. So Rami's like being like, "Haha, I got you, bitch." And then Bond just fucking shoots him in the head.
Just
He's like,
empties
"Fuck
the rest
you."
of the magazine into his face. Yeah.
So then he's hurt bad. He's shot like a couple times, and obviously he just got some very terrible news.
Yeah.
So you're like, man, how's Bond gonna get out of this one?
How?
Well, spoiler alert.
He just gets on the phone. He's
He
like,
doesn't.
"Hey, Q." He's talking to Q. It's actually kind of. It was like Q's like, "Oh my gosh, Bond, I'm sorry." He's like, "Can you just like put Madeline on the phone?" And Q's like, "Right."
Yeah.
That's probably what I should do, and not just be like, "Oh, sorry, you're about to die."
Yeah.
And he puts her on the phone, and they get to have a nice talk. And that's when she's like, "Yeah, she's yours." And he's like, "Yeah, I know." And it's a nice little scene where she's sad.
Yep. The missiles are coming, and I went in and looked it up later because Hans Zimmer scores this movie, which he does for like a million movies or whatever. It's not new. Everyone knows that he's great. The song that plays at the end of this film, while he's having the conversation, standing on top of the silo or whatever, just kind of like waiting for the missiles to come.
Yeah.
It's called The Ascent. And it is, I've listened to it many times over. It is probably my favorite piece that Hans Zimmer has ever composed. It is so good.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to mention that because I thought it's like this beautiful, it's like 8 minutes. And it's like beautiful, like melancholy, like sadness, but then it like is also like really triumphant at the end. And it like perfectly encapsulates
What's going on in the movie?
mood at the end of the film where like he did it. He like saved the world. Like everything's cool. And like, you know, he started this family and he got what he wanted right at the end, but it was all ripped away from him again, which is really tragic. And so he just has that final conversation and Madeline's like, she has your eyes, and he's like, I know. And then the music swells to a peak, and then the missiles come and they blow the shit out of the island.
And then
that's it.
Only there's less than 10 minutes for sure left of the movie, because it's just a short scene where everyone from MI6 just shares a toast to Bond. And by everyone, I mean Moneypenny, Q, M, Tanner, maybe.
Yeah, and Madeline's there. No, she's not there.
Because Madeline's off driving the car, the same
With
scene from
Mathilde.
the beginning, but it's her and Mathilde.
Yeah,
And she's like, "Let me tell you a story about a man named Bond."
James Bond.
James Bond.
And
the movie's over.
The movie ends, and it's very sad, but also.
And James Bond is dead,
and
guys.
James Bond is dead.
He's dead. Big spoiler. Dead. Deadly dead.
He's dead, and you're like, wow,
James Bond died?
they actually killed him. I had thoughts going into the film that he was going to die.
The title.
No Time to Die. I was like,
No Time
maybe
to
they'll
Die? No. Time to Die.
Time to Die. Ha ha. So yes, very emotional send out for the great character of James Bond. Daniel Craig did very good. I thought he was I think this is his best performance.
Well, it's the only one that he really
Bond
gets
series.
to do much.
That's true. But still,
Yeah,
it's
sure.
his best. He
Right.
actually gets to show emotion. I really liked what they did. I know there's a lot of people that really hate what they did with the James Bond character in this series, but I think it's really great that he gets to kind of be an actual human being for a little bit and have some emotion.
Yeah, that is cool for the Daniel Craig. I mean, especially since they set it up as it'd be stupid of them not to do some kind of payoff when there's been 5 movies in one universe. It would just be dumb.
Right.
So
And I think the emotional payoff is fantastic. It's really great.
I thought it was pretty good. Not great, but
Well, I think it's great.
one of the things that I feel like people are just gonna be off on this movie just because he does die. There's gonna be people who will never accept this movie ever because Bond dies, and that's not what Bond's supposed to do.
Yeah.
So there's gonna be probably a huge percent of people that are gonna 1 star and everything because Bond dies and be like, "Oh, this movie sucks. It's not a real Bond movie."
Yeah.
Blah blah. Just for that sole fact. And I would hope that if you were a fan of Bond, you'd at least be able to appreciate a new direction or whatever. Obviously, the last 5 movies have been a new direction, so you'd want to. I don't know. I hope people would be able to get over it, but
Yeah.
maybe not. Who knows?
I agree. I think it was a really cool thing that they did. So yeah, we did it. Talked about all 5 of the Daniel Craig James Bond movies. Now we get to rank them in 3 separate ways.
Yeah.
Which one do you want to do first?
I guess we should do title sequence first because
Okay.
it's the first thing you see.
We're gonna rank the 5 of them based on how cool we think the title sequence is.
Yeah. Or just how well they fit the movie, just like everything. you
Right.
know?
Number 5. Let me think.
Number 5.
Number 5, Quantum of Solace.
Probably.
This one's probably just gonna be 5 on all of the lists. This movie's just not very good, so there's not really much going
Actually,
for it.
no. It's definitely the worst song, worst title sequence, and definitely the worst movie. So there we go. 5 already
All of
filled
them.
out, just so you know.
That's
So we're
good.
going to do 1 through 4 for the rest.
4 for title sequence. I probably got to lean
Spectre or Skyfall?
Spectre. Maybe Skyfall.
Maybe Skyfall? Spectre at least has
I
the
don't know.
callbacks in it.
I love the beginning of the one in Skyfall though.
The Skyfall one definitely has a cool intro because it's seamless.
yeah.
It's a seamless intro into the title sequence. So
really
I think
cool.
that gives it a little edge.
I'll go Spectre.
Spectre. And then that would kind of leave us to... Because Spectre's the hentai.
The hentai, which great, fantastic.
Skyfall is the one where it's seamless transition from the water. He gets drug under, and then it's a lot of water stuff. A lot of there's the Shanghai dragons and stuff.
Yeah,
in that
it's
one.
cool.
Yeah, that one has a lot going on in it, so it's less themed, but it just has a lot of different stuff.
Right. Would you throw Spectre at 4 too then?
Yes,
Okay.
and then Skyfall at 3,
Skyfall 3.
and then probably No Time to Die. For me, would be 2.
Yeah. I mean,
Well,
think.
actually, no. Now I'm thinking about it. Because
I-
Casino Royale is just, like we said, it's so thematic.
yeah, it
it
fits the
takes
movie
its theme
perfectly.
And it sticks with it the whole time. And I guess maybe people would hate that. And it is 2006, so it's less CGI heavy than No Time to Die, which is just this huge CGI fest. which I mean is kind of a positive and a negative because it loses a little bit of something, but it also
Right.
looks cool. Because No Time to Die has a lot of clock theming and a lot of like hourglass and stuff like that.
There's for sure No Time to Die has my favorite like part of any of them,
Is it the bullet?
which is where like the guns like create these DNA strands when they're like shooting and they like connect, and then the bullets, like the bullet streams like will fly across the screen and like create the faces of like the characters.
Yeah,
And I thought that was like really cool.
it is cool.
But I don't know if that's enough to make it number one. But then is like Casino Royale better than that? I don't know.
I'm gonna go out and say No Time to Die number 1, Casino Royale number 2.
You know what? I'll agree with you on this one because we're gonna disagree in the future. I know.
Okay.
Cool. That's the definitive ranking. You cannot change that. It goes Quantum of Solace, Spectre, Skyfall, Casino Royale, No Time to Die. As far as the title sequence goes,
Yes.
people.
Song Quantum of Solace is still at the bottom.
The song Quantum of Solace. Yeah, I don't even know the name of that song.
Yeah, it's like
I think it's like Another Way to Die. I think that's what it's called.
And then you have Casino Royale, which would be number 4.
Right. But I do like that song.
Yes.
But I agree it is number 4.
Then it gets tricky.
It does get tricky because these last 3 songs, I very much enjoy all 3 of them. I'm going to go with Billie Eilish's No Time to Die for number 3, even though I really love that song. I got to put it at number 3.
If I agree, it's because of one of these 3 I feel like captures the Bond aesthetic the best, and Billie Eilish's like catches it the worst of just like, oh, Bond, it feels Bond, you know?
Interesting.
I would say hers does it the worst out of the 3, even though they're all good.
Okay. So we're the same there. This is where I think we're going to have a switch up.
Yep.
Number 2. This is probably a hot take, and I might take some heat for this, but I'm going to put Skyfall at number 2.
Yeah.
I have nothing personal against Adele. I love Adele. I love all 3 of her albums. They're great. She is going to release a new album soon. I'm so excited. Skyfall is a fantastic song. But me personally, I enjoy Sam Smith's Writing on the Wall so much. I mean, I don't know I just like that song a lot. I don't know what to say. It's just music.
Yeah. I just prefer the female vocals. It just feels, when I listen to it, I feel Bond. When I listen to Sam Smith, it could be like any song to me. Like it could just be like on the radio and I'd just be like, oh, good song. If I hear Skyfall, I'm like, oh my God, James Bond.
Yeah.
So I think for the movie specifically, as a piece of music, there'd probably be a different ranking.
Oh, interesting.
But as the title sequence song, it's Skyfall.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have, Skyfall number 1. Okay. Now we get to go to the movie rankings,
Quantum of
which
Solace
is where I get to
last.
piss off a lot of people.
Yeah.
Quantum of Solace, number 5. Tough look for Quantum of Solace.
Spectre number 4. That's
Spectre,
not tough.
number 4. Then we get to the 3. I'll be honest, there's 3 good Bond movies and 2 and 1 bad. Or 1 and 1 bad. So, yeah. Quantum of Solace, Spectre. Then we get to 3, 2, 1.
Mine's easy.
Just hit yours real quick.
No Time to Die, Casino Royale, Skyfall.
Okay. I feel like most people would probably say that.
I think so too.
Your boy here, not most people. I'm thinking I could really, really make some people angry, or I could not make people as angry. What do you want me to do?
You should do what you feel in your heart.
It's hard.
What
3
you
and
feel
2
in
are
your-
like close for
What
me.
your nano blood tells you.
In my opinion, like I don't know, 3 and 2 I can like switch depending on just what day it is. So should I just go with the one that'll cost some more circus?
Sure, I don't care.
Okay, fine, I'll do it.
Okay.
I put Skyfall at number 3.
Okay.
Whoa, I can feel it already.
It just depends on what you put at number 2.
I can feel it already. What do you mean it depends what I put number 2?
Because if you put Casino Royale at number 2, we're gonna have a problem.
At number 2, I'm going to put Casino Royale.
Wow.
I can feel it. I can feel the internet
Wow.
crashing down upon me.
I'm just surprised is all.
But I said it before I said it, I can switch Casino Royale and Skyfall at any moment.
Okay.
Okay?
Well, that actually makes me more mad because I was hoping it would be the other way around.
Sorry.
Because No Time to Die is not that good.
Because number 1, I'm putting No Time to Die for my boy, Kari Joji Fukunaga.
Wow. I guess there really are movies for everybody.
There are. Listen, I know a lot of people are gonna disagree with me hard with this because people will ride hard for Skyfall, and I love I think Skyfall is a great movie. I love it. It's awesome. But No Time to Die just like scratched that itch for me. I don't know. It has like everything that I loved. It has some awesome action set pieces. It has a great. The whole movie feels like a finale.
That's true.
Like, there's not one point in the movie where I was like, this doesn't feel like things are coming to a close. It felt the whole time like we were moving to the emotional climactic end to this character that we've known over these past few movies. And I think it works out perfectly. And the way they wrapped it up, I thought was really, really fantastic.
See,
I loved it.
That's actually one of the reasons why I thought it was kind of a detriment to the film.
Okay.
Because I actually thought that the whole idea, Rami Malek's whole villain was kind of ruined because this was the last movie. Because I think it probably should have been like Madeleine. Probably should have been Madeleine gets the blood. She can't go back. Rami Malek's her bad guy. She's the one with the connection to him, you know. Should have been her. I can't see my daughter. You know, James, like, you have to take care of your only person I can trust. She's the one that dies. James has to be a father now. He can't be James Bond anymore.
Yeah.
You know, that's the kind of ending that I was seeing because, I mean, like you said, like, at the end of the movie, even though I'm glad they didn't make it so he has a personal, when he does kill him, he just kills him because who the fuck cares?
Yeah.
So they handled it the right way when they did it that way. But the whole through line, I was just feeling like, this isn't his villain. This is Madeleine's, and she never even really gets her, like, revenge on him almost. You know, she never really gets, like, closure with that. He takes away the most precious thing. He's her Blofeld. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so I was kind of disappointed by that, and also just because it also made Rami's character feel like the worst villain. Should we rank the villains?
Right. Well, we can rank the villains, but I want to talk about that for a second. So I would agree that my least favorite part of the film is the Rami Malek villain character. I think he does good.
Yeah, the acting, like,
he's
his performance
great.
is great, yeah.
But obviously there are some problems there. But I think the idea of, like you said, that Madeline, like, he's Madeleine's villain, not Bond's. I agree with that. But I think it just adds more to, like, the tragedy of the story. I think this final movie is a tragedy. So, like,
Yeah, well, sure.
it adds more to, like, the tragic outcome where, like, you know, even though, like, Bond, like, defeats him in the end, it's not even, like, his thing. Like, he, in his final moments, takes everything away from Madeleine too, except for her daughter.
I mean, that's his whole life, is fighting other people's battles.
Right.
You know, like, how many of them, like, it only becomes personal because he's sent on the missions to go beat him in the first place, you know?
Right.
And Blofeld just had a weird vendetta, you know?
Right.
So it's always, like, MI6 doing stuff on his bidding. It feels like, I mean, that's kind of like one of the things he says right before he kills Rami is, like, there's always going to be another one of you. There's always going to be another guy like you who thinks he's doing the right thing or whatever, and then he goes bam, bam, bam.
Yeah.
Because it's like, who cares?
Same deal.
So, yeah, maybe they could have just, I guess if they just handled Rami a little bit better, I would have been more pleased with it. But it's definitely the biggest fumble of the film.
I totally understand that.
Yeah. And the other thing that I've seen a lot of other people with me on this one is that the second half definitely goes hard on the action movie aspect.
It does.
And less on the spy movie part of it, which I can see why people would get, like, upset with that.
Yeah. I mean, I understand where people are coming from, but for me, it works.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
So, yeah. Okay, cool. We can rank the villains then. Number 5. The guy in Quantum of Solace.
It's got to be the Quantum of Solace, probably, yeah. And then Rami underneath him, actually. I would do.
I mean, yes. Yeah, but it's close, I think.
Because at least Rami is, like, threatening.
Yeah.
You know?
I put him and then, like, Blofeld, like, 4 and 3, but it's close.
It is close. Blofeld 3. Honestly, Blofeld would be closer if he wasn't in No Time to Die.
Kind of true, because he does have that really great scene in No Time to Die.
And then 2 would have to be Lashif, and number 1
and
Silva.
obviously, number 1, it's fucking Silva in Skyfall. That's pretty easy, I think.
Yeah, that was pretty easy.
So, yeah. Any other lists you want to make?
You
wanted to rank the women.
Let's rank the women. Okay.
Honestly, we're not going to do that, but Ana de Armas wins.
Yeah,
that's all I have to
She's
say.
number 1.
She
That's
wins.
all that counts.
I'm
Best Bond
telling
girl.
you,
I don't
she's
even know,
awesome.
I don't even know her name.
I don't know her name in the movie either.
Does
It's
she
just
even
Ana de
have a
Armas
name?
shows up, and I'm like, yep,
Yeah.
you do it.
Fun fact: you can thank Daniel Craig for that.
I saw that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He handpicked her for the part after Knives Out. He was like, you should get Ana de Armas.
Great choice.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you, Daniel Craig, for that.
Daniel Craig, you're fantastic.
And thank you, Ana de Armas.
You are also fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any other lists that I would like to make. I think I've said my piece, and yeah, I stand by everything I said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can't think of any other lists.
Well, that wraps up our conversation on the Daniel Craig James Bond movies. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, we said all there is to say.
You know what that means.
Oh my gosh.
It's time for the reviews of the week, baby.
Let's see what we scrounged up this week. Why don't we?
The reviews of the week.
The reviews.
Okay, here's mine. 4 stars. There is no cock and ball torture.
Wait, 4 stars out of what?
5 stars.
Nice.
4 out of 5 stars. There is no cock and ball torture. So, it narrows it down for you. It's 4 possible films.
Can I? There's no cock.
There's no cock and ball torture.
4 stars just because I know. Well, no, because anybody can have any opinion.
Could be a fake out.
4 stars, I would assume it's between No Time to Die or Skyfall. But just because of the timing, the cock and ball torture would be more in people's minds around Skyfall time. But I'm going to go and say No Time to Die.
Damn it. You're right.
Yes! I knew it
You
was
got
a switch
me. You
up.
got me.
I knew it.
You got me.
That's good stuff. And they're right. They're needed.
Yeah, if there was cock and ball torture and No Time to Die, masterpiece.
I got to be real. That would switch me around on it.
I'm just saying.
Here's mine.
Yeah.
There's no review rating with this.
Okay.
For those accepting and actually encouraging forced jabs and vaccine passports, you may agree this time, but what about the next and the next? You do realize there is no going back? This is just the start of a never-ending hell. Just got back from watching this movie. The parallels are real, and we are screwed.
Okay. Is it No Time to
It's
Die?
No Time
Okay,
to
because I was like,
Die.
that's the only movie that has
Yeah,
like
exactly.
the pandemic thing
Yeah,
happening.
yeah.
So
There
I
you
was
go.
like, but maybe it's like Malignant or Titan.
I'm guessing they didn't like it. Oh, I should have looked up Titan reviews, but probably Spoiler City. Holy shit.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Probably could have found a funny one though.
I'll have to remember that. So let me know when you watch it, and I'll look up some Titan reviews.
I will be paying attention. I will try to see it as soon as I can.
As soon as possible, yeah.
As soon as I can. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
To emails.
Yeah, we have emails. Did you know that you can email us, the two of us, at thestaglerpod@gmail.com? That's a thing you can do.
You can
email us.
also email us individually if you can figure out our personal email accounts,
Yeah, you could do that.
which we will not share, but I don't know. Maybe you're smart.
Maybe.
Maybe. Anyway, we got one coming in. Shaken or stirred, just like James Bond, I'm a raging alcoholic. Over the years, I've tried
Find
many
help.
different types of drinks. But I still remember my first was Jack and Coke. Do either of you have a favorite drink or remember your first? Thanks. I love these. I'll always bring it up. The auto reply suggestions are so good. The first auto reply suggestion is, "Who are you?" In what context in an email would you ever need to reply, "Who are you?" And the other one is just LOL and love it. Anyway, your favorite drink or remember your first? Well, you're not a big drinker at
Okay,
all.
yeah. I was gonna say this question kind of doesn't pertain to me. I'm not really a drinker.
But you have had a drink.
Yeah, I mean I've had like Bud Light.
I remember you had an alcoholic butter beer that one time when we were together. We watched Dune, and you had an alcoholic butter beer.
That was cool. Yeah,
That was a good one.
That's
That was
probably
tasty.
that was probably the best thing I've ever had. But I'll be honest, that's one of like 5 times I've ever drank.
Yeah.
So I'm not really a drinker. I'm not really into it.
This water bottle is actually filled with vodka. I've been drinking this whole
Oh,
time.
wow, really?
So it's good. I don't know. I love White Russians. Last night I had sex in the driveway.
Whoa, hello.
That's a drink. That is a drink with peach schnapps and white rum and other stuff. It's good. It's tasty and Sprite. It's awesome.
Nice.
Blue Curacao, and that's it, I think, actually. So if you want to make it, there you go.
That was a good question, though.
Yeah, I have a martini glass. I've had martinis. I was going to bring it, but I didn't want it to break. And I was like, yeah, is it worth it for a stupid visual gag on an audio podcast? Probably not. So
yeah,
I decided against it. But I'm not actually a big fan of martinis. They're okay.
Oh, I've never had one.
I had they're fine. Shaken or stirred, I don't know. Got me, fella.
Shaken, not stirred.
Shaken, no stirred. Even though in Casino Royale, he's like, do I look like I give a fuck? Remember?
Good
and then
stuff.
he picks up the gun and he goes, bang, bang, bang.
Oh my gosh. The ending of this podcast means that we are on our way to something absolutely fucking monumental.
Listen, if you're a fan, if you've been a listener for a long time, you should
what's coming.
be up to date and know what we're doing next time.
Next episode, we're delving deep.
Elbow deep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Into
Shoulder deep.
the
even.
great filmography of my personal favorite filmmaker, Denis Villeneuve. My favorite. Because, obviously, Dune is coming out. Dune. You know the movie Dune? You know the
Dude.
book Dune?
Dude.
I love Dune. My favorite book ever. My favorite filmmaker is combining with my favorite book. I don't know why I'm so blessed as a human being. This is a lovely thing that's happening to me. My favorite filmmaker is adapting my favorite book into a fucking movie. And honestly, it does not get better than
For
that.
the silver screen.
I cannot wait. People have seen it already, and I'm mad at them that they've seen it, and I haven't. I've read lots of reviews. And
Really? You like lots and lots? You're just,
Yeah.
Man.
I have. So I have a pretty good feeling that I will enjoy this film.
Okay.
I'm just could not be more excited. My mind is going to explode because I'm so excited. You go see Dune in the movie theater. Listen, we need to see this movie in the theater. It's very important because if it does not make enough money, they will not fund the second film, which we need
How
to
sad.
complete the story.
How sad in the future would this be? This episode or next episode is next episode especially. If it didn't get made and we were just sitting here like begging and it never happened, like this would be like a time capsule that people would look back, be like, wow, they're really passionate people, but like it just wasn't there. You know,
That'd be so sad.
that'd be very sad.
But
Or maybe it's
like you said
stupid idiots.
during the news,
They have a Dune 3.
they were at like 30 million already. I know the budget for this movie was huge.
Gotta be huge.
Gigantor. So they gotta make a lot of money. So go see it as many times as you can in the theater. Give them your money.
Yeah, buy 3 tickets per person, I would say.
Yeah, and then look, go to the movie by yourself, buy 3 tickets. No one has to sit next to you because the other seats are bought.
Or buy 5 and they have even more room.
Yeah, buy a whole row.
Buy the theater. And then charge double for Dune tickets and then force people, buy the theater, buy the theater.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, buy the theater. I'm going to purchase Cinemark.
And just throw all your money at Dune.
We need this. And if you like this podcast but aren't interested in Dune, guess what? If Dune fails and there's no Dune 2, guess what else is going? This podcast. So you better fucking watch it. That is a threat.
Nick will be on from the podcast. Me and Marilyn will stay. And it'll just be me talking
Marilyn
to
loves
Marilyn.
Dune.
Marilyn loves Dune, but does she love it enough to lose her job? Wow.
Wowie.
I guess I'd just be alone. It'd be me and R2 mounting Groot.
Yeah.
And Yoda doing whatever he does to Black Phillip.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Wow. If you want to catch up on the Denis Villeneuve films with us so you can know what we're talking about in the next one, watch them. He has so many fucking great movies. Arrival, Prisoners, Blade Runner 2049, Unsung
Is there anything before
Enemy.
Unsung that we're going to be watching?
He has one actual film. I think it's called Polytechnique.
Okay.
Or Polytechnic or something. I don't know how to pronounce
Yeah, it should be easy because you've likely already seen at least one of them. I would say that's not a stretch to say you.
Right. He's made huge movies.
Yeah. So if you want to catch up, it shouldn't be hard for people.
No.
To catch up real quick.
And yeah, I'm sure it will be lovely because there's not a single one of his films that I don't like.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll just be
We'll be doing it.
Green. Yeah. I was gonna say something really bad.
Okay. let's maybe not.
We're done.
We're done.
Thank you for watching or
Guys.
listening or whatever you're doing.
Thank you so much for listening. Join us next time for episode 40 when we talk about Denis Villeneuve
And Dune.
and Dune.
Dune.
Can't believe it's here.
It's actually unbelievable. I'm so excited.
Let's get out of here so I can watch that movie.
Woo!
Bye.